where the sun doesn't go down, and we will drift away until the day the world stops spinning, 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 until the day the world stops spinning.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, 'cause I got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, 'cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it, 'cause that we love the thrill. We know
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of
Face your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, but back your back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They're waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Donis, why you sad? I said I just need to think. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need to your phone. Can't hate it bad. Someone said it's sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times. Yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters New York Online EU Closed Qualifiers for our final game of the qualifiers. We have OG up against PACT. It's a rematch for the initial match we had just 2 days ago, and I'm Jason Kappen, so joined by the lovely Tom Biz as he goes from one final to the next. If you guys saw his tweet, Tom, this is gonna be an exciting match because I already looked at the maps we have, and it's gonna be an interesting first one, to say the least.
Yeah, train has not looked good for OG over the last couple of days, and after what is a disappointing elimination, It's going to be a disappointing pistol.
Oh, that's
as well.
live. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. The intro lasted like a lot longer than I expected there. I didn't think it would take 90 seconds for the whole intro and to come into this. I didn't even drop us into game, so I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like PACT took the pistol round. Any chance you can give us a quick recap of that, Tom?
Oh, I was wondering why you were sort of...
Yeah, I went to the wait screen, so I'm like, oh, we have tons of time. And
No,
then...
you literally talked over, like, when you were introducing us, Valde got headshotted as PACT ran into the B site, and I was like, oh, he's taking this one kind of light.
Well, you know, I messed up the HUD yesterday. There was many problems the day before. But, you know, what would it be if I'm not producing and there's no mistakes, you know? Probably a good show for once. Either way, though, we'll be taking a look at the match here, and it looks like Issa's going to be going up to the scout. For some reason, my X-ray thing turned off again as well. Don't know why that happened when I was already in game and executed the command. But anyways, we'll see how this one goes, and we'll fix that shortly after this round, guys.
Yeah, this is what it's like to be a pro. That's what you have to remember. This is actually done on purpose and definitely not a mistake at all. Still got to be careful of OG in these rounds. Although the match they played didn't go well previously, I was going to say it's the pistols that come up strong. And it's the natural born killer once again who just comes up with these dirty deegs. PACT. They did well the last time they played, but you have to remember they got off to a very slow start. I believe it was 7-1 in favor of OG, and then they managed to win fairly dominantly from then onwards, ending the game 16-9 in their favor. So they do have to be careful, because if that momentum, if that streak wasn't stopped, who knows where the scoreline could have gone. They have brought this one back into contention, though. However, with Valde picking up an AK, everything's going to come down to Sobel.
Oh, the HP.
He's going to have to sneak his way down, and he's going to catch out Alexi B. And now Valde's alone, but he does have the bomb. They don't have a lot of time on the clock. 15 seconds to try and get back, and he's just going to be waiting. The player has dropped down, both of them incredibly low, and all he has to do is deny it, but Sobel keeps things alive. 2-0, way too close for comfort, but OG don't quite close out that round.
The time that was left, though, was just ridiculous on the clock, too. Plus the HP. I mean, they had, like, what, 4 and 2? Or 6 and 4? Something ridiculously low, under 10 HP, and just a couple of quick shots would have been enough to finish that off. But either way, still a lot of damage done here for OG off the back of MBK getting a nice little triple kill. So at least keeping the economy in check here, but obviously with the MAC-10 now bought up here for Lunatic, I think OG need to be a little bit careful of feeding that money right back over. And we have fixed all the X-ray issues. Speaking of Lunatic, going to charge straight in towards the lower bomb site, or the inner bomb site through lower, and Valde's quickly going to dispose of him. So not really the best of weapon recovered, but at least 1 kill off the bat.
Again, there's a few tagged players.
Oof, MBK.
And if they keep peeking Nathan like that, they're probably going to have a bad day. They've made both of these rounds already more costly than I think PACT ever would have liked. And knowing that the AWP will probably come into play in the next round. Oh, that's a bit dicey. Alexi B was in with a chance, but unfortunately he doesn't capitalize. I am a little bit fearful with that MAC-10 in the hands of Valde. Now, normally it wouldn't be that big a deal, but with how low these players are, what is that from MBK? Straight through the smoke. After all these years, there might be a vac coming, because that's absolutely disgusting. Was looking to try and deny the bomb, maybe a little bit too late for that. They, again, have brought this round incredibly close, and of course the weaponry they have really isn't worth keeping, so they might as well try and make things as costly as possible. The round, though, is starting to slip away as the time ticks further, and they're going to have to get someone onto the bomb soon. They get the kill on Sobel, and now they have to just stick it, and it's not going to happen. Every single man falls. A Galil, maybe even an AK. I don't know if Valde will get far enough away, and unfortunately he won't, but that's still a superb round from the side of OG.
I mean, a good 2 rounds, right? Think back to the round before. It was only 2 players surviving with, again, low HP. This round, they ended up killing off the entire enemy team. So, again, keeping it costly for PACT, keeping the money being chipped away at, so when OG do pick up a round, they can start to snowball them together. And they obviously have everything they need here now for this round to pull it off as well. You see Mantu picking up the op. You got Issa and Valde on the M4 at the moment. Obviously, Alexi B and MBK probably going to be doing the exact same thing. And yeah, we do know there's going to be a little bit of a tech pause here for PACT. Apparently, there's some FPS issues for one of the players. And
Lunatic, right?
Yeah, Lunatic will be joining back here in a second. But yeah, it's not, so far not a terrible start for PACT. I mean, still getting 3 rounds. They're off to a way better start than they had the last time they met on Train. Like you said, the 7-1 in favor of OG. But now that OG have the guns, I feel like this has the potential to not only go back to like a 7-3, but to continue going from there on, where OG maybe you're not going to let things slip. I think they realized, well, after losing a big yesterday in the semifinals of DreamHack Summer, and then losing yesterday to Heroic 2-0, that they really need to play for this. They really need to qualify for this event here to keep, to keep them grinding away at getting into like the top rankings.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be missing too many events in a row, especially with how the ESL rankings, for example, works. Is if you earn those ESL points, then you're more likely to be invited back to the next event. So it's basically how you continuously get those event invites, is by qualifying and earning points within. It makes sense. But it does mean that when you are in that middle grind period, it can be quite difficult. You have a lot of qualifiers to play. You have a lot of tournaments to attend as well. Luckily, at the moment, the travel aspect has obviously disappeared, but it doesn't mean teams have any easier a schedule. And I think there's a few teams still maybe on their break a little bit, as we've seen some sort of questionable results and some mistakes that we wouldn't normally get. The thing that worries me for PACT here is the match we saw last time. Valde didn't show up, Man 2 was missing a bit, and Issa wasn't there either. Now, I haven't seen too many matches from OG where that's happened again. Obviously, it did versus Heroic, but no offense to PACT, I put Heroic in slightly higher regard.
Whoa, and, so BM, Tom?
No, yeah, so BM.
How dare you?
It's one of those things where, obviously, if they can shut those players down, it's going to be a good match for them. But they need to start here, and I want to see them get off to a good streak. And already, Darko again, and Goofy, both combined, 2-man advantage already.
Oh, Mansu now kind of left alone on the outer bomb site with an op, and he's talked about wanting to see PACT really work against OG, and they've been able to do it in this round. Not a single kill coming in for OG, and a flawless round for PACT. Well done. And again, 2 players we talked about so much yesterday in that match against Existence was Goofy, and it was Darko. These 2 players just seemed to pop off, and kind of the win condition for PACT did feel like that if Darko doesn't get an entry frag or Goofy can't do the same, then they seem to falter, like we saw on Overpass in yesterday's matches. Now, obviously, Darko and Goofy have been off to a pretty decent start, and Lunatic was someone we can't really talk enough about, in the sense of, yeah, he might not be, top fragging, but his support play, like his flashes have been really spot on in a lot of the games we've seen so far, and Sobel has just been this kind of player who can really pop off at any given moment. We're gonna see Navaldi coming around the corner with the CZ, spots out the bomb, gets a dink as well on the Lunatic, but not able to finish him off. But Alexi B will be here. We can see PACT taking their time, trying to figure things out, and MBK in the meantime has gone for the long flank here, Tom. He's gonna gather so much information, and potentially a gun if he can get behind Darko.
Yeah, he's got a chance to catch a fair few players rotating. It's all going to come down to timing. They've got a lot of time on the clock, in fact, so they might even want to try and reclaim Ivy. So this is going to be interesting. He's going to hear the smoke as well when it's thrown. In fact, he's just going to catch Lunatic. That's 1 for 3. Quick refrag from Maniz, though, to stop that one getting out of control. And this will give... Lunatic's just typed my heart.
Yeah, I know, right? Surprised he didn't have a heart attack coming around that corner and seeing a player there. Meantime, though, Yusa will fall, but Lexi B, who has the M4, yeah, probably just worth to save this. 3 players to find, no kit in your hands. And I can still hear a lot of chatting between them, so I'm assuming there's a lot of laughing going on.
Yeah, no, next level strats, try to kill people in real life instead.
Jeez. Next level strats. Try to kill people in real life so they can't kill you in game. Wow.
Yeah, it's just smart. 5-0 though. And this is something that we mentioned last time. So I can't really say now that OG don't know it's going to be happening. PACT like to play this very loose, aggressive style. There's a lot of individual aspects to their gameplay. And I think that's why when we were on a map like Nuke, they really struggled. Because they just couldn't match up man for man, pound for pound. Again, though, just look at Darko already. Well, maybe don't, because he's dead. But they managed to get out so far. And someone you mentioned earlier was Sobel, who was one of the main players who really performed last time on Train. 25 kills, 15 deaths. He's going to need to do something here, as we've seen a big round come out from MBK at the start, but also Man2 start to kick off with the AWP. And I think that's what they were really missing last time, and have been in some of the matches we've seen recently, is Man2 hitting his stride. And he definitely can, there's no doubt about it. He's been a bright light in this team since joining it. And in this round, at least, it's looking like he's there again. 3 kills already. Is Maniz actually expecting this? I think he is, but Valde is just too quick on the trigger. Double AWP, big question, and they are going to bring it in. Of course, this is the map pretty much renowned for the double AWP, but they need to start something, and now, because 5-1 down, anything more than this, a PACT are going to be looking good on that T side.
The thing is, we've seen PACT be, I don't want to say one-dimensional, if I can say the word, obviously, in a negative tone or anything like that, but in yesterday's matches, it seemed to be like aggression and those entry frags, and we didn't really see much slow play out of them compared to Existence, as you talked about extensively, saying Existence are more used to playing this style, and obviously the teams they're playing against will play that sort of style out. But I wonder if the aggression is going to work here against OG, as they should be able to catch on to it relatively quickly. Thinking back to what we had Nuke and Inferno as our map 2 and 3 the last time they met, and those weren't even matches. Those were just extremely quick wins for OG. So I think obviously for PACT here, they need to maybe be able to dig a little deeper in their sack of strats, and then also take this map here, because Nuke, you could almost assume OG are going to win that just off the results from last time. Dust 2. That's a little bit more of up in the air, right, Tom? So I'd say if PACT want to win this series, oh my God, well, obviously not get naded like that, but win here and then look for Dust 2 as a potential second for your win.
They should know there's another player here. Maybe not expecting Alexi B. That second AWP plus the nade, and spotted out Maniz as well. It's only Darko that might be a bit of a surprise still, but both players up top. Trying to retrieve the bomb. It's not going to work out. Alexi B, I don't know if he spotted a foot or something, but that seemed like a sixth sense to take a shot. And well, it seems to have disappeared. He's going to be heard in the footsteps. Darko manages to sneak his way out. And again, it's going to be a round for OG, a costly one, and they're not going to get either AWP, which, well, means they're not going to have one.
It's like that new Jamie Foxx movie on Netflix, if you've seen it, about these pills you can take that give you powers for 5 minutes. I guess it gave him a power of being able to see through smokes for about 5 seconds because he clearly didn't see the second player. But yeah, bomb drops even more forward. They win their round anyways. They do lose, was it 3 players? So a little bit of a costly round for the CT side, but now they're up against Glocks. And this is a round that OG needs to win, and with relative ease too. Like, don't lose too many players. Your economy is already extremely rough as it is. Need to stabilize a bit here up against PACT, and best case scenario for PACT, they get a kill, they get a bomb plant, a little bit extra money on their side, and they're only going to have really one player. I wasn't gonna say one player to contest against with Valda, but we do see Alexi B rotate in from Z, so the 2-man stack here, and obviously the MP9 to do some serious damage. Look at that. That was nasty. Nice little crossfire set up to cover each other's backs.
This is looking much better. Of course, 5 rounds already not bad, and although we talk about how good PACT were on the T side, this was the one map where we actually saw them thrive on the CT side. Like, they barely lost any rounds. It was an 8-2 finish to what was already a very good T side half, and I like the fact that they're doing what we said last time. They lose a few rounds, they take a pause, try to reassess the situation, and come up with something a little bit better, because that was the thing. Like, the 6-7-1 loss that they had initially on this map was due to playing very individualistic. Like, they didn't really try to do too much as a unit, and I think that they need these sort of pauses to go, okay, now we go back into a slightly more structured style of play. It's still going to be explosive, it's still going to be aggressive, but it's going to be more team-based rather than just, as you said, hoping for Darko or Sobel to get entries that they really shouldn't be getting away with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious if the pause is going to be enough for them to figure out what to do necessarily. I almost feel like we saw a pause at like 6-1 last time.
Yeah.
And then 7-1, obviously lost the next round, but then from there on, they just completely took away the game. And Darko, so we get taken away, the game gets extremely aggressive, but gets caught out. No backup from his team. I think the Molotov separated him from the rest of his teammates here. So an early frag already over to OG, and we see the double nade come through, and MBK's ready for it, and that's going to be a double kill for him. I will give credit to PACT, though. One of the few teams we've seen at least here in the EU closed qualifiers, that go for these like not random necessarily, but these nade stacks that I'd say for the most part have actually worked out in their favor. Thinking back to Inferno, over to First Oranges, the nade stack they did on T side. We've seen it happen here onto the bomb train, onto I believe it was Alexi B when they met last time, and it did like 90-something damage.
Yeah, they've attempted a few. I think it's definitely interesting to watch that's something they've tried to brought in. It was something that you saw it very, very rarely until I think Astralis started doing it more commonly, and it was just a good way to get an opening pick. But we've seen now a slightly earlier shutout for OG. So a poorer start, but we've seen some of the players that were definitely missing perform. And that's the thing, like on train, MBK was really good last time.
Yeah.
Like, he had a great... Okay.
Don't talk about it.
I'm guessing he was planning to jump through that. But yeah, he had a really great game the first time around, got off to a strong start, and then it slipped. Issa's still a bit quiet, but more importantly, Valde is playing like a deep B role. Like, if he has a bad game, you're screwed. Like, you're basically playing retake every single round. So the fact that he's got off to a much better start, I think is very promising if you're an OG fan.
That's a really good point, too. I mean, it seems like PACT are starting to lean a lot more heavier towards the outside bomb site here. Obviously setting up for an execute. I wonder if Lunatic's even going to be able to get down Pop. I mean, he's got Tech 9. He's got Issa there ready for him. He's got no flash, so he has no real way of even facilitating a push. Maybe it's a distraction for the players out main, and there it is. It's going to work exactly like that. He does get the kill, does rescue M4. Then Goofy gets a kill on MBK. Down to the 3-on-3 now, and Alexi B is going to rotate back towards the bottom half of the bomb train, and somehow, some way, PACT are fighting this one back here, Tom. Don't tell me they can win this clutch. Don't tell me they can win this force up with just some pistols, and Mantu's left in the one-on-one.
He's not looking. Oh, he's not looking. Goofy's come from behind, and that will be the force buy or the small investment victory. Again, we see clear holes in the CT side defense. This is a map that, thus far, from the last few days, watching OG, I've not been particularly impressed on. Now, as we said, Nuke has been one that they've looked very good. Even in the match when they played versus Heroic, it was a very, very close game, and Heroic are a decent Nuke team. So I'm not really worried about that. But even though I think the polls have looked good, I think this is a team that OG really shouldn't be struggling against.
Yeah. I mean, obviously just the caliber of history of the players. Not necessarily comparing the skill, but just the history of every single person on OG. Major titles under the belts of some of these players. Playing against, you know, top 10 teams consistently in some previous rosters. But it looks like OG are going to be able to bounce back in this round here. As I do have that 4-on-3. He's down to just 8 HP with it up over towards Ivy. And the last 3 players remaining for PACT will be looking to push here. You got MBK. You got Iza kind of at the angle. Even potentially Alexi B to watch in from Pop if needed. Upside is they have time and potentially have Iza looking the wrong direction.
Oh no, he's caught with a nade in hand. Even still though, they do get at least one trade, but Issa, he's holding the line, not allowing them any further, and Valde in the meantime is looking to come in from behind, and while Sobor seemed aware of it, he didn't quite have the HP to be able to hold on. So they'll retrieve all the extra weaponry, still keep an AWP into this next round, and it will be a 5th. And well, what that means for PACT is, I guess they're back to a few pistols again.
Hey, but is that really that bad of a thing? They won their last round, they had it, right? Came down to that 1v1. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you about the whole OG PACT thing. Like, this shouldn't be a team that OG struggles with. And if anything, you know, they should be the favorites. PACT should be seen as the underdog, but we've seen PACT already win this map before. So it's about, can they replicate that performance, and can they bring that performance over to a map where they really struggled on in the last time they played this series just 2 days ago. It seems like they might even group for an inner push here. Again, you have Valde talked about as kind of being the lone man there. Mantu's there to reinforce him with the AWP from long range. And we've not seen the double up come in out of OG. Whether or not that's just a comfort thing at the moment, or whether or not that's due to obviously funds, is going to be maybe potentially decided a little bit later on. There's not many rounds left here in this first half. So I could see them getting the bomb here. They have the smokes. They have the flashbangs to set it down. They have Manise invested with the AK. Like, can they close the round out is going to be my question, because MBK again started to push in towards Ivy. He's gathered a lot of information. And Mantu just connects on to Goofy in the first.
Yeah, that rifle's gone, and the chance of a bomb plant looking slimmer and slimmer. A complete shutdown for OG as they do get themselves a big boost to their economy, and more importantly, level the scoreline. And we didn't really see too much from them on the T side last time, so I do still think they need at least 2, preferably 3, going into the next half. But as said, like, even just having Valde online can make a big difference to their T sides. We saw going into Nuke that, again, it was sort of the Valde and Issa show, like having a race to see who could finish top of the board. If he can continue this into the second half, I'm a lot less worried than I was last time.
Oh, Maniz. Easy kill on Issa. Not a bad start in this round. Again, you can see Goofy trying to watch for the push out of NBK, which we've seen him do 2 times now. So whereas Ivy, this time he's not going to be going for it. We've seen this kind of the stack here out of NBK and Mantu before. Where Mantu will take the shot back away and leave NBK aggressive. But with OG already losing a player, even though it's a typically A-site player, it puts even more pressure on Valde to defend this inner bomb site. Which again, seems like maybe they're going to be heading that direction because they have Sobol pushed up a bit. And this is going to be very hard to maintain. I think they're going to need to rotate a player in pretty quickly here, Tom.
Yeah, Valde's going to have to do a pretty good job of this. And actually, he looks away at the wrong time. He's finally spotted the peak coming out, but the player from upper has made it too far forward. I'm not sure if there was a call on the other side of the map that got him moving, but whatever it was, it has lost OG the round. No chance for them to try and come back into this one. And again, it's going to be PACT, taking themselves a lead. And 7 rounds on the T side of this map really is impressive, especially to do it consistently versus top-tier opposition. So again, as said, I've not been particularly impressed with OG's train so far. I think there's some clear things that they need to fix. And I think some of it is, firstly, Issa doesn't look particularly comfortable. And that's something that I don't think you can really allow, considering he's one of your star players. As said, he's someone who works very clearly off confidence. If there's a map that he's not really doing too well on consistently, at least from what we've seen since they've come back, I think that's something that needs to be changed. And you've seen the peaks that he's taken in the last few rounds. I think this one, for example, came off like maybe poor information. I think Alexi B was holding an elevated angle and basically it's not seen anyone cross because of how quickly Maniz had got there. If that gets you killed, that's going to make you even more tilted, because that's not really something that you can do much about. Is okay, there's no one there, so I'll just go and take that spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Me's already been tagged up early. Some early nades. Molotov thrown on top of him as well, down to 21 health. It's not allowing him to get the peak in mid like he had before. Oh, the timing, the distraction of a Molotov into the smoke. Catches him completely off guard again. Another round where Issa's fallen extremely early in the round. And PACT again, these entries are working out. Sobol, again, we talked about Darko and him, even Goofy a bit, as being like these really strong entry fraggers. And he's proved it quite a few rounds now. But MBK will strike back. He'll take down Goofy. That was over towards Ivy. So he's keeping things equal here, but you can still see PACT are just playing passive, which again, considering what we saw yesterday out of them, very different than their typical style, but maybe that's just due to train.
Oh, MBK very low on HP. Mantu will get the kill on the B site push, and MBK is still doing work. He really is having a very good game so far. 15 kills, only minis remaining, and he will finish things off as well. There is a second AWP if they desire it, but not going to be retrieved this time. And, well, for the T's, it's not a fantastic position, but it's enough to still get them a purchase going into this final round. Even still, 7 rounds is very, very good. And as said, the T side in the last time they played was 2 rounds. That's all that was gained for OG. So PACT in a fairly similar position once again.
Oh, the unscope. that timing. But again, you see the early investment of utility to prevent him from hitting any early shots. Man, it's a nice little adaptation out of OG. If you can't complain about that, and they obviously need to work on maybe a little bit more pop control because Issa has had a little bit of a struggle, but you can see they actually rotated Alexi B there instead. And Sobel's just lurking for his prey, you can see. Just waiting on top of that ladder, and I'm curious when that smoke fades if he's actually going to push through. Oh, don't even tell me he's having an easy kill here. 2 players towards the right. One on top of a train. They're going to have to flash someone in to even get a player back into pop to check it. There it is. Catches Sobel perfectly. And he doesn't check the corner. Oh, Sobel again. 2 for 2 on pop in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, I guess they didn't expect anybody to be that far, but I feel like with that much time not in pop, you had to kind of check that. And, well, unfortunately for OG, that's going to be another entry in that direction, as you said. And that's been the story of their match. Like, some of it can be down to bad luck, but I feel like they've needed to make some adaptations pretty much all the way through this half, and they haven't really come through. If they can at least go in with a lead, maybe take themselves a pistol, we could see the momentum go back in their favor, but they got to try and hold on to this one. There's only 20 seconds left, so this is not a bad position to be in whatsoever. The smokes, however, will isolate the site, and Issa, well, he's the man to watch. If he can deny this plant, then there's a real possibility that this round will be over before it even begins. Instead, though, he gets absolutely nothing, and it's a pick instead for the Poles, who take themselves a further lead, looking like an 8th is almost guaranteed for them as they start picking apart the remaining members of OG, and it's left all onto Man2. I'd be thoroughly impressed. Even a dual Beretta ace wouldn't be more impressive than this, but it isn't going to be happening. 8-7 in favor of PACT. Another strong T-side half, and well, OG, they got to try and change something on their T-side.
Yeah, so we'll obviously get into that once we head back from a quick break, guys. We'll see you in a few.
We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We love the thrill. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. It's just the way we live. We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We're grown-up kids.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. Yeah. I feel on top of the world, I top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted
Welcome back, everyone. We are back into the game, and it's the second half now between OG and PACT. And as you can see, PACT did take themselves that first half lead on the T side. And as they swap onto CT, can they replicate their success from just 2 days ago and take this map up against OG and then go into Nuke with a 1-0 lead? I'm Jason. He's Tom. We'll see if Sobel now can defend this push coming in towards the inner bomb site.
He has a friend. This is a little bit unusual.
Oh.
It almost works as bait. I don't know if they're going to expect the second player to be up here so soon. They still seem to be holding the angle. I respect that from OG. Hold the line as the push comes in. There's nobody on the other side of things, so he may actually be able to get away. And Mantu's just dancing through towards the site. However, it's the CT side on top once again. A 9th round for PACT as they take themselves the pistol. And, wow, realistically, it's probably just going to be a save from OG.
Yeah, no bomb plant and what, 2 kills? And then obviously PACT can play for the bonus round into the following. You see the scout picked up. Actually, they're investing. Okay, they're going for it. Mac 10, some pistols. They got the armor as well. It's been a rough game for Isa. 4 kills for him, but MBK, as you pointed out before, having a fantastic game. Let's see, though. Alexi B with the Tech 9 looking to push up. Push in towards Ivy as well, causing a distraction. It catches Manise off guard. The flashbang, though, out of MBK catches his teammate, though, and unfortunately, Alexi B is going to fall from this. It seems like this 4-step is not going to work out. Tom down to Valde and Mantu up against 4. And they got 2 Deagles.
Yeah, I guess feeling confident after the last 4 Spire victory, but... or at least bringing them close, I guess you could say. Even still, this one does look impossible. And I'm quite surprised. I guess it will give them more going into the buy round that they get in the future, but it's not even like they saved too much extra money to like confirm an AWP or something like that. They've invested pretty much everything into this one and really not done much damage to PACT at all. So they're going to get that same strong early start, as this one basically has to be an eco from the side of OG. They can maybe get an extra Deagle or 2 in play, and well, for the likes of Mantu, he's probably going to want to save every single penny if the plan is to get that open a little bit earlier. Still, though, the biggest worry for me is you're going into a T side without Issa performing well at the moment. And I guess the reason I'm singling him out more than most is because if I'm looking at a T side for OG, Issa is the focal point.
The fact is, he is bottom fragging quite heavy, unfortunately, for the next at 8. Needs some other people, I guess, to step up a bit more for him. I mean, obviously, maybe him stepping up a bit would be nice, but let's see if anyone else can carry that slack over for OGs. The nade comes through and mauled it down to 54 health already. And they're going to go for the push. One player towards lower, and the rest towards upper, and Sobel, who can just clean up these kills. And there's the first onto Issa. And here comes the push now out of OG, trying to time this well. They're going to be smoked off towards upper. Sobel's just going to spray through this. And they've actually been halted. They're being flanked in from the backside. Manise is going to be here. He gets himself the 1 kill, but MBK is going to respawn. And now Lunatic tries to push in to help out, but he's going to be traded out. It doesn't matter. In the end, I think all the kills come in for the SMGs, and PACT go up 11-7.
Yep, this is where, well, we need to see a return to prominence for OG. I said last time, they managed just 2 rounds on the T side. They didn't do much better on the CT side either. And then when it came down to the match that we saw them play versus Heroic, it was far worse than that. In fact, they didn't win a gun round. So their train definitely hasn't looked good. And I want to say as of late, but even prior to that, we saw them lose to teams like Contact, who they haven't been in form for a fair while. We expect them to definitely be beating teams like PACT if they are going to be challenging to be one of the top 10 teams in the world. We saw the likes of Heroic very easily make their way through this qualifier. And, well, we meant to really put OG at a similar caliber.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, OG almost beat Big in the semifinals. Came down to that 16-14 on Mirage in the third map of the series. I mean, OG have the potential to do it. But at the same time, I'm also happy to see PACT playing well. It's been a very long time, as we talked about yesterday, that we've seen a Polish team, a full Polish lineup, really excel since the days of, I mean, basically Virtus Pro with the Golden Five there. Talked about aristocracy not really living up to what we hoped it could be. We even had a team named Advokashik, which I did figure out what it was when I was there in Poland for a month. But they had some promise. But again, obviously saw what happened to them as the push has come in towards the inner bomb side. And it looks like OG will be able to get the bomb down here. Miniz misses the shot, but Sobel won't. That missed shot of Miniz might cost them the round here. But Goofy's flanked in. He got himself 2 kills. Not even a flank. He comes in from Z. Down to the 2-on-2. Sobel with the up. Darko with the M4. And Isa finally connects the shot here on a Sobel. But he's going to be shot from the back as Darko now on the 1-on-1 up against Mantu. Time is going to start to tick away, and Darko does have the kit, but Mantu needs to hit the shot to finally get OG back on the board here for the first time in the second half, and he won't connect.
The time is ticking, though, and it's on his side. This is where things come very awkward for an AWPer, though. The elevated angles, he's going to nail the shot, though. Great work from Mantu to keep the round in their favor. With now 8 on the board, the CT side... Wow, it's a bit of an interesting one. There was an opportunity to drop an AWP, but they've decided to keep the rifles on the majority of players. And in fact, Miniz will be dropped down to a scout. I don't necessarily mind that. I think we've seen over the past week or so that it has mainly been the riflers that perform within this PACT roster, and Miniz is an added bonus. So I guess you've got to play with that.
Looks like they will send... Oh my... Where did all that damage just come from? Was that a nade? Yeah, in towards Ivy, or maybe a tag from the scout out of Miniz.
Oh.
Lexi be on 4 health. Lucky to be alive. But you might as well almost be dead at this rate. As Miniz gets tagged up with a nade as well. Oh man. He's down at 34. And ABK almost actually catches him on the transition. He's not going to start the player E-box. And Darko will win that trade. Valde now going to jump down. Actually forces Goofy out of position. Probably was heard though. But he's still in a really good place to punish PACT here if he can hit these shots.
Well, the timing doesn't quite work out. Mantu a little bit late, but Issa will get another entry. As said, he's normally the focal point of these rounds. Miniz has made things a little bit easier, and Lunatic has left it onto just one. Alexi B, Bogdan's Law brought in as he has an AWP in hand from his teammate, and it is an instant break back. As I said, this was a pretty dicey buy that's been pulled together for PACT. 4 rifles, a scout, and they made it look relatively easy.
Yeah, I mean, Miniz did a lot of damage towards Ivy. Yeah, a lot was traded back to him, but again, the weaponry he had wasn't too bad. Or at least for what he accomplished. 6 seconds left. He's going to try to stick the plant. And yeah, Mini's going to be there ready. And he's going to be like, hey, free op for me. So nice upgrades coming in for PACT to get themselves up to 12. And OG, well, they don't really have much money here, do they?
Yeah, it's a rough one. They're probably just going to be back to the pistols. I would assume that Alexi B's not going to want to spend too much just to make sure that they do have that AWP still available to them, and he will just keep round about enough money. I think he'll be on 5,900 at the end of this round, depending on kills. For the CT side, look how confident they are. They've run all the way up Ivy. Already a peek coming out from Darko that gains so much information. They'll know that nobody's there. And because of that, I wouldn't be overly surprised if they gamble a second player over to this B site. It is not something you want to be leaving open in these sort of rounds. We've already seen the failures of getting the bomb down, and this is impressive from Lunatic through the smoke. He's going to find 3 kills. All headshots, by the way. And sure, Valde will get 1, but it's closed out in a relatively clean fashion. 13-8, looking like a repeat win on train for PACT, unless OG can dig deep and pull something out the bag.
That's rough. I mean, yeah. wasn't too big of a commitment with just really the pistols, but still, momentum definitely on the side of PACT. And I think if they do take this map, they're going to have obviously the opportunity to kind of overcome what they failed to the last time. They still have to win this here. They still have 3 rounds left to go. Valde's going to push out immediately. Looking for an early pick. It's ahead of a Molotov and sees Maniz, but MBK is going to unfortunately meet the bullet. And Valde's going to try to push through the smoke. He does have the 1v1, and he does win that out. But again, Maniz is going to be here, and LXCB has been able to get out of pop. It's actually keeping the CTs back towards the latter half of the site. He's actually been able to sneak up quite far, but can he get the kills he needs? One player snuck through, but it doesn't matter. Goofy just takes him down, and Mantu's left alone by himself yet again against 4.
Yeah, this is not happening. He's going to try and escape, but instead, again, it just looks bleak. There's been 1 round so far on the T side, and again, they're almost forced into a position where they play with some pistols here and likely have to play from 15 rounds to try and get 7 in a row, or they force here, and it's going to be a relatively crappy buy. Like it's just some pistols of AK, a Galil, like, or a couple at least, but this is not what you want to see from OG, a team that, well, as I said, we expect a lot from at this point.
I think that's completely fair to say, to be honest. I mean, just the name, they're daunting for the organization. But I think one thing we've noticed is that this is definitely a map that they probably need to work on a little bit more. I think we were talking during the break to each other, and it's definitely a map that they seem to definitely struggle on. We do kind of wonder. I know you were saying to me about, you know, how bad is their vertigo then, if that's one of their permanent bans. Let's see, though. Push coming in on Inner yet again. Just Sobel to defend. He's going to play extremely far back. And it looks like they want to have Valde push through the smoke as Molotov's thrown in. And Sobel still has an angle, as they still have yet to even get a player in on towards the bomb train. But they finally do work their way around. Flashbang comes through. And Sobel go for the peek in towards upper. Goofy peeks in as well, and he takes on Valde, expecting a player in. The smoke, the counter nades come through and do some really good damage to PACT. But OG still need to get these kills. They need to confirm something. Goofy down to 12 HP as LXCB takes down Sobel. Bomb finally going to be planted here, but down in the 3-on-4 after plant situation with only a Galil Tom, I don't know if this is very doable.
Well, yeah, I think Mantu's realized he has to be the playmaker. Has to try and take some risks, get aggressive, and while Lunatic is already going to trade it back, nice work from MBK. And Maniz, well, he's going to still be alive. I don't really know how, but I think he's realized that this is a bridge too far. No real chance for him to win this round anymore, so they do make this force by work, Jason. It was a risk, but I think it was one that was needed.
Oh, man, yeah, Mantu, as you said, probably realizing he has to be the one to come up big, and he gets himself 2 kills. And pretty much the perfect moment to make it happen. But still, I wonder, 9-14, there's still a lot of rounds left to go. Can OG keep this up? Can they still consistently take rounds? Issa's only gotten 3 kills since the first half. MBK now up to 20. LXCB only 1 kill, I think, since the first half. It's definitely a struggle. We're on the other side. Everyone seems to be performing well. If anything, Darko is quote-unquote underperforming, because we've seen him do some ridiculous things just yesterday. I mean, underperforming with 14 kills, and the highest is 18, right? I'm not, I mean, as I say, quote unquote, it wasn't really meant to be like a serious thing, because we typically see him like more towards the top side of the leaderboard for his team. But what I'm trying to say is they're pretty much all firing on all cylinders. Like, they're all playing extremely well. No real weak link across the team. And OG, we're clearly seeing some weak links within this map at the moment.
Okay, that was nice timing from LXCB. Heard the flash go off and knew that there'd be somebody trying to take a risk towards Pop. This reactive play gives them some space. Maniz misses, and that gives some more time to push. A decent trade back from Darko, and almost 2 from Lunatic. Can he get away with this? He has a teammate to come in to support, and this might be the beginning of the end. It's once again left on Mantu's shoulders to keep them in this match. It may not be the last round just yet, but their money is not in a position where they can afford a loss, at least for now. He is going to get the smoke off and potentially have the chance to isolate one of these duels. The problem is he still has to go back. and retrieve the bomb, which is actually relatively far away. This is going to waste at least another 10 seconds just trying to retrieve that. And then he has to actually make the decision of where he's going to go. Is this a save, Jason? Because if it's not, he's running out of time.
I'm going to assume so, considering he had AKs on the ground that he could have picked up if he wanted to go for it. I guess not. 12 seconds left. He's going to go for the push. Player on top of the bomb train. He does have 2 1v1s to potentially happen with the bomb out. He should be dead. There should be no way.
The bomb plant will keep them in it, though. That's the one thing I will say, is that him being able to get the bomb down will mean that they have enough money to buy. I like this as well. Small details from PACT, just going around and picking up any extra utility they can find. So that's something at least. But 15 now on the board. OG, as said, they'll have enough to buy thanks to that bomb plant. So it definitely was worth going for. It keeps the rest of the team in a decent financial spot. But yeah, again, like we just talk about those small moments, the individual jewels, the factor that we almost favor almost every single time to OG. This is a team full of all-stars, and at the moment, they're struggling against a Polish team that I don't think many expect much from.
Well, we had a 69 last time. I'm curious if it can happen again. Because PACT have everything the kit they need, whereas OG, they're lacking a lot of utility at MBK and Alexi B, and they picked up the pace. I like this out of OG, but can they hit the shots when it matters? And he's just pretty much left to himself. Not able to get a single shot off, and now PACT get themselves a 2-man advantage. Sobel and Darkle both chiming in for a kill apiece. And they do get the bomb on the inner bomb site. But again, the kills aren't coming through. And Sobel, that was a nasty shot coming through. Mantu's going to be responding, but now he needs the ace for the clutch. Alone against 4 players. Yeah, the bomb is down, but it's not going to matter. And PACT will do it again. Back-to-back 69s against OG when it comes to Train. And they will be moving ahead onto Nuke now, up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and I don't. At this point, we can't even call it a fluke. Like this isn't a map where you're looking at it and going, okay, well they've done it once, maybe it's a bit of an upset. No, twice, exactly the same score, similar manner, a decent T side and then a dominant CT side from PACT. And this is a map that clearly OG have some serious work to do on. However, winning one map, Jason, and winning a series are 2 very different things. We saw last time from this point onwards, it was the OG show as they battered PACT on Nuke. So we'll see if the Poles are going to be able to continue this form and actually take themselves through to New York.
Yeah, we'll find that out after a short break. We should be coming back at about 3 past the hour for our second map. So make sure you guys stick around until then. Or at least come back at that point.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
AT&T's big 5G news.
AT&T has nationwide 5G?
Yep.
And that's faster?
Faster, yeah.
But is it reliable?
Uh-huh, and secure.
You should consider making a big deal about it.
Bigger?
I said bigger.
Oh, bigger deal, bigger than what I'm doing.
It's not complicated. A 5G network needs a 5G device. Now everyone, including existing customers, can get a free Samsung Galaxy Note 20 after trade-in.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds, and planes are piloted from the other side of the world. The future's not coming, it's already here. Join us and be the future.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams.
You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say darn, it's why you sad. I said I just need to think. Red tape, got too close, I hit the city. Black face, show you everything you need to your phone. Can't hit it back. Someone said it is sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times. Yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around,
a girl to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on our baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Riverside. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on our baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Riverside. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby you make me feel something.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
Welcome back, everyone, to the continuation yet again of our series between PACT and OG. And as we saw before, PACT did take the first map victory, winning 16-9 on Train. But now we go over to OG's pick of Nuke. And last time they played this map, it was extremely one-sided in favor of OG. I'm Jason Captain, still joined by Tom Biz. I just moved from one tournament to another. And now I gotta ask you right off the bat here, Tom. Do you think PACT have been able to bounce back from the last time they played here?
No.
Yep. That's, I mean, honestly, that's exactly what I was going to say as well, to be fair. OG looked like a completely different team when it came to that map.
Yeah, I think they might have even got to the point where they're just using Train as a warm-up. Like, it's happened now so many times, and the thing is, they got 16-3'd versus Heroic, and still came back to a point where they maybe even should have beaten Heroic, so I'm not really too worried for them. Oh my god, MBK has just destroyed Goofy. And yeah, that's basically what I was expecting, but maybe not quite that clean.
I mean, MBK's had enough, probably. Again, performing on Train, doing it yet again on Nuke so far, and Dark was left alone against 5. Don't really think there's a solid chance for him to win that, and that will be a flawless round out of OG. MBK getting 3, Valda 1, and Issa getting 1 as well. Now, obviously, we're going to need to keep our eye on Issa in this match. As you pointed out before, he was definitely underperforming for OG when it came to Train. I think he had 4 kills the first half. But I don't think that's going to be the same story when we go on a Nuke. It definitely seems more of a comfort pick for OG compared to the map we shall not name anymore.
Yeah, I think this is a map as well that suits him. Like, it seems like he's able to get a lot of good angles, find a lot of important kills. And I think if you're an entry fragger or someone taking a lot of those early fights, if you don't feel comfortable, that's it. Like, it's not going to fly well. Even if you're one of the best players in the world, if you're not feeling in your comfort zone, how? Valley shoots 2 shots, both of them connect. Hey, I'm impressed. He knows his angles. He's going to get tagged himself, but it seems like a lot of players are currently being tagged low. In fact, that is now everybody except Mantu, and this is getting dangerous, Jason. The Pistols have already found 2 kills. In fact, Sobel's even going to be able to retreat back. Another one coming up. MBK is gone as well. This is all falling apart. Mantu, Valde, at least put something on the board. Come on.
I feel like I said this 1,000 times. Mantu left alone against now 4 players left of PACT. I mean, technically doable. Realistically, it might be a completely different story. Definitely going to be a completely different story. At least he does have the bomb on his side as well as time. He's got a player directly towards his left in the vent. They know exactly where he's going to be as well. 30 seconds left to go, and if he's going to make a play towards upper, he's going to have to do it relatively soon. And he's supposed to fight his way in there, and Darko will close it out. And PACT, I don't know what that was, but Darko gets a 3K, and they win the round.
Maybe it will be different. Who knows? I definitely am still reserved and have my doubts, but dear Lord, that was very impressive. Like, Meniz, I think he must feel a little bit hard done by with those 3 assists, because he did a hell of a lot of damage with the scout. But even still, like, the Deke players did very well, and now we look at OG, who are left in a bit of an awkward position. Only got some pistols, the bare minimum. They didn't get a single kill in the last round, so the CT side are in a very good spot, and already it's going to be a spray down. A bit of a whiff from Goofy, but back to the Deke he goes. And maybe that's where he should stay. 2-1 for PACT. Money not going to be there for OG. And it's going to be an eco and a strong start to the CT side for the Poles.
Yeah, a very strong start. OG again. Probably just going to be on the bare pistols, the bare minimum. And PACT should be able to go up 3-1. This would be really unfortunate, you know, thinking about it for OG. Losing the semifinals against Big, where you could have potentially have taken that last map on Mirage, where you lost 16-14. Could have been playing the finals today against Heroic. You lost yesterday to Heroic 2-0. To not qualify now for IEM New York would be a big shame for them. And honestly, if we talk about the other side of this sword, is the fact that it would be a massive victory for PACT. A massive breakthrough for them to potentially play against some extremely good teams from EU. Maybe get some decent prize money and obviously some really good experience under their belt. As they're just hunting MBK, and MBK's gonna get one with the, I think that was the burst fire coming through, but Sobo's gonna close it out. And that's gonna be a 3K for him, and PACT now up 3-1.
Okay, well, this is where things actually become interesting, but you can already see the CT side have a crazy amount of money already built up, considering they've only won 3 rounds in a row. Like, Meniz, $7,700. The rest all between 3 and 5K, which is a very good position to be in. It seems like Valde's having a few ping issues at the moment. I do like the fact that the Issa's normal ping is only slightly lower than Valde's problematic ping, but it does come from being from Jordan. I don't know if he's there at the moment, though. Maybe with that ping he is, but I honestly couldn't say. I know that he lived I think in Ukraine for quite a while when he was playing with Hellraiser, so I don't know if he's made the move back. I would imagine under the current climate, you'd probably want to spend that time with your family, but I guess that's always the weaknesses of playing from specific countries. I know that a lot of the Turkish players always had a fair few issues, and don't get me started on Asian Counter-Strike and ping. I still remember doing the E-frag stuff, and there were genuinely matches where they decided it was a good idea for not to be able to find a neutral server. No, that would be silly. But to switch servers between maps so that each team had a chance to play on 300 ping. One of the worst ideas I think I've ever seen. It did make for some of the funniest matches I've probably ever watched, where players legitimately couldn't walk around corners because they were on such high ping. Yeah, didn't work very well. It actually meant that most matches ended up going to a third map where you had to switch each half.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, for PAL 2020, we had teams like playing from the Middle East, and they would have to like use, or not even just those teams, some other teams would have to use VPNs because the routing was so bad.
Yeah.
And they would use a VPN, their ping would be fixed. But that's how bad the routing would be trying to get into some of these servers. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's very unfortunate. But you know what? I think any player out there will take playing online in the current state of the world than not playing at all. And obviously makes things a little bit tough for him, but I still think they'd rather play. I mean, obviously the rankings do hurt quite a bit and potentially losing out on some like really big money if you had a LAN, but there's just no way LANs are going to happen. I don't think there's going to be any real LANs this year. I know China's had some for a couple of some other games, but I just don't see it happening with, you know, it getting even worse now here in Europe, and well, worse again, I should say, and countries starting to lock down, being able to travel yet again, or maybe enforcing a quarantine when you get into the country, you know, for 2 weeks. I know, what was it, like a couple nights ago, England put it up for themselves that if you leave the country in the next few days or something like that, or in the next week or two, you're going to have to quarantine coming back for 14 days.
Yeah, that was the thing. Wow. Let's not get into this because I am so tilted by the UK and some some of the decisions that have been made. But yeah, unfortunately, as is with a lot of cases in the world, it's a few stupid people ruining it for everyone, and it does mean that in a lot of cases, things like LAN events will be later down the line. I'm definitely worried for the major coming up. Of course, the road to Rio obviously leads to Rio, and it's somewhere I've been last year. It was one of my favorite places I've ever visited. It's one of the places I also made sure that I stayed an extra few days because it was just such a fantastic place that I could not afford to miss it. And also just the idea of having a major in Brazil. Like I know there's a lot of people who will harp on Brazilian fans, but from what I've seen, at least the majority of Brazilian fans are fantastic. And two of the loudest buildings I've ever been in my life involved Brazilian fans. And one of those was ESL One Belo Horizonte with over 10,000 people in that arena. Could barely hear myself speak, even with soundproof headphones on, which was ridiculous. And then even DreamHack Rio, which in terms of size definitely had a much smaller crowd. But those guys were so loud. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I'd love for the major to be there, and if not, like maybe have a later one there. But the state of the world at the moment, I don't really see it happening. But of course, it's not down to me.
I mean, no, I completely agree with you. I don't see it happening either. One of the few countries worse than the U.S. is Brazil. And what was it? Even the president of Brazil got coronavirus as well, and after, what was it, saying he wasn't going to wear masks or something, and then he gets it, or he doesn't believe in it and he gets it. I don't remember which one it was. I don't think it's realistically can happen anytime this year. And honestly, it sucks. People had plans, like people, on vacations and stuff, but hey, you just gotta live with it sometimes. And would you rather, be dead potentially from coronavirus? Nah. Like, what's the upside? Oh, you get a vacation. Downside, you die.
Be like the political speaker, just like when people say you have to stay at home. Would you rather be dead? It just sounds like such a threat.
Yeah,
nonetheless,
I mean,
let's move away, Jason. I don't want to talk
because he's still not back in. I don't think.
It's been rinsed. I'm bored of this topic.
I'm not bored, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. As it looks like he has rejoined the server, and it looks like we're gonna be starting here in a second as I just get the refresh on the round. So obviously everything is kind of out of the hands of us. We're just kind of playing along here and going with it. And well, I can't see chat, but I do hear them talking quite a bit, though I don't see the technical pause ending just yet. I don't know if you see it.
Console's just after they're ready, so okay. they're having a chat with the console.
I actually got scared that you did mute me because you took a while to answer there. I was like, oh crap.
That is something I've done before. I'll be honest, I have done that before.
I mean, when you hear Banks talking about the MP5 for the 1,000th time, I can understand.
I meant you, but sure. I can't remember what. Actually, I do remember what it was. It was Blast Rising. You were eating into the microphone, and I was like, I can't listen to this. It made me feel ill. So I was like, you know what? I'll just mute him for a bit, and I won't have to deal with it. I feel sorry for our producer on that. But then again, most of the time he did just talk about how he was ordering massive pizzas, so maybe he didn't mind so much.
Lucky guy, living the dream. Working in esports, getting massive pizza delivered. And now we're living the dream, Tom. The game has started back up again. Hopefully the ping issues have been sorted here for OG. And hopefully indeed, because they're currently down 3-1 at the moment after winning the pistol round flawlessly. Let's see, though, as they do have the buy-up yet again with the AKs. Utility going to be a little bit light. Is currently low at the moment. But they're up against a scout out of Manise, so definitely seeming to treat this as a bonus round here. No op in his hands. Definitely had the money for it. And I think, was that Isa who snuck down lower? No, it was Alexi B who snuck down.
Yeah, he does this quite regularly. As I said, he's the man normally to take the risk to try and distract for the rest of the squad. I think a lot of his in-game leading involves him as the sacrificial lamb, but it works. He's definitely got the individuals to back it up, and that's been the case in a lot of the teams that we've seen him lead, is that he definitely plays a supportive role, but can frag at times. Maniz this time not able to hit the tag with the scout, and needs to start landing some shots, otherwise Darko is going to be coming under some serious pressure. He's still going to get the kill, and actually Sobo has just run straight through the smoke. Darko keeps it going, and now Sobo looks to chime in alongside him. The trade's at least coming back for now. With that bomb needing to be planted, Valde is taking a risk, and he needs to. He needs to give them away back into this round. Maniz is dead for sure. It's his teammate that's the problem, and Goofy has kept it onto just Mantu. He knows he needs this kill, and he won't find it. Sure, Lunatic almost kills himself, but there's no 1Gs to be had this time, as it will be 4-1 to PACT, not to OG. I wanted to say OG, but it's not.
Okay. Got a little worried there for a second for some reason. Just clean up some extra utility, making sure to get the AKs. And there you go. Like I said, the 4-1 comes through. And now OG with the bomb plant. I mean, they could force. They probably should force into this. I'm expecting almost just a rush into the upper bomb side at this rate with the 2 MAC-10s already secured for them. MBK goes over to the Deagle. Or had the Deagle. Dropped it over to someone else, I guess. Am I blind? Okay, there it is. He picks it back up. So really not that great of a buy coming in for them, actually. But MBK, all he needs is the Deagle, it seems, as we saw him on train. Nice little 3K out of him in one of the early rounds. Well, let's see. Lexi be looking to poise, come out of Squeak. Evalda's going to fall. He's going to follow up on this one. Takes down Goofy, so the 1-for-1 trade's going to work out. Mantu, in the meantime, able to get one, and Lunatic can't connect. And the upper bomb site take has worked out. I mean, I think he has to kind of wait. Can Darko accomplish anything here? It's going to be hard for him to retake with an op. And, I mean, I think at this rate, they're just going to play for the post-plant kills.
Well, he's already picked off one.
Maybe
Maniz has actually found the other. And now it's on to Alexi B, who's actually Molotov'd out into the corner. They need to make sure that they keep an eye on the door. The second incendiary goes down. The kit will get onto the bomb. It's down to Darko to defend it, and he will. A great retake in the end. A little bit delayed, but they make sure they keep all that extra weaponry. They keep the streak going. And I believe, Jason, they've already done better than last time.
This is a little bit worrisome for me. I mean, again, they've only had, like, what, 1 gun round? Though they did lose the second round, which I didn't expect after the flawless pistol round they had. But I think this is going now into probably one of the strongest buys. They got the AKs, they got the utility behind it. They need to get the rounds behind themselves. Really well done by PACT so far. I want to see if they can keep this pace up, though, because the match is not done just yet. I think a little bit of a missed Molotov out of Goofy there. Already some early damage being done. Goofy pushes up in the hut, and they get 2 clean kills right off the bat. Maniz has the support from Lunatic, who will trade 1-for-1. But they keep themselves with a 2-man lead.
Things going from bad to worse, and well, there hasn't been that same level of bounce back that we saw last time. Sobel, he's going to spot out Alexi B, and that's the bomb down. I'm not even sure what Mantu can do from this position. So much still to find, and little space to do it with. The only real thing you could say is that he has the time. There's a minute left on the clock. He could try and potentially find a few frags and could maybe catch a few people off guard. The problem is with this B site, you need to make sound. You either need to open a door or you need to break some glass. Or one of the classic Astralis things we've seen is timing the opening of doors on upper and lower so that you can bait out the sound and make people think that you're somewhere you're not. Of course, that only works if you have 2 people alive. If you're able to do it on your own, I don't think you need to be opening doors, as you can teleport through walls.
Or you just be a wizard. Which doesn't make any sense right now. Mantu's going to be spotted. I mean, again, 1-on-4. There shouldn't really be much of a chance for him. If anything, get some damage done. You got 10 seconds left, and Maniz will drop him. 6-1 for PACT. I never thought I'd be saying this when it came to Nuke. In my head, I was already like in the third map. I was already over to Dust 2 because OG just slaughtered them last time. But PACT have continued to play well. And on their CT side, which is generally the side they've been struggling on from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and again, we're yet to really see too much from the usual suspects. Issa and Valde were fantastic the last time they played this map. Both of them racing to see who could finish top. Now, well, it's a different kind of race. They're both bottom of the board with 2 kills. Push coming in onto Darko. He's going to hear all the footsteps. I don't think he can escape this. There's nothing he can do. They switch up the play and have quickly made it in towards the site with the lower control currently there for Alexi B. He could stop any rotations. This should probably be a save for the CT side. Even though their money is really strong, it's not worth challenging this one. A 5-on-3, you've got no control at all. And OG, that is a great round.
Yeah, finally some good shots being hit. I mean, Darko, I don't know, he kind of mistimed things a little bit. Like, they were able to sneak past towards that little curve part of the wall towards ramp before he actually even saw them coming in there. And obviously, by the time he noticed they were there, it was too late. And he tried to back away, got caught off, and then it would seem to be like a downward spiral from that moment on. But either way, OG will get a second round. And PACT will still save the 3 guns, so really focus on the economy game as you were talking about before. Making sure to keep themselves armed up in the future rounds. And OG's going to go for a little bit of a timeout, maybe to talk some things over.
Yeah, I guess at this point, this is where you really need to start your T side off, because as we saw last time, they were really dominant on the T side. Now, that's not necessarily something they need to recreate, but they're still looking to get, say, 6 rounds. I think that's a decent average over on that T side. So at this point, PACT are not really too worried. They've still got enough money to buy in this round and the next without really any troubles whatsoever. And for the Ts, although they are still in a position where their next round can improve quite drastically, even with a loss, it's still one of those things where it's all about momentum. And that's something we've seen from this squad quite regularly. If they get rolling, it's very difficult to stop them. If they start getting in their own heads, well, we can see them lose some pretty poor results.
No, Goofy set up. Darko was into lobby, actually. Pushes up ramp. Again, the aggression out of Darko and PACT in general even seemed to work on the CT side. But look at this, Mantu and Valde, extremely low health, though. Alexi B was able to get a kill. Sobel again is going to drop the bomb. Needs to buy some time as Manice is going to back him up and take down Alexi B. Covers him off. And Mantu on 2, Issa on 100. Well, Issa on 0 now as Mantu's left alone. He gets 3 again, but now he gets the first kill. He doesn't have the bomb, though, Tom, so I'm really worried for him and how he's going to be able to recover it. But at least he might have the element of surprise here. Or maybe it's going to be Darko has the element of surprise.
I won't lie, I kind of saw that one coming, but...
It's really hard for me to read the minimap at the moment. That's why I'm struggling here to sometimes see exactly where they are, but hey.
It was good timing, it was good timing. It had the comedic value to it. I'm actually quite curious what the plan was in that round from OG, because you had 2 players fighting for outside, fairly normal. But the thing is, when you have the take, you either want someone in heaven, if they've wrapped around, or they need to wrap back into mini. Instead, we saw Valde, and I think it was Alexi, go into the site, and then the other 2 players were still outside and not challenging at all. So it just gave a lot of individual duels for the side of PACT, which is exactly what they want. That's what they are hoping for in this match, is that they get individual fights. They don't have to fight versus the unit that is OG. And yeah, I just don't think that was a particularly good round from them. The take was, as I said, it seemed a little bit disjointed, unless there was some sort of plan that I just didn't know about them maybe holding the outside and delaying them. Now, we have seen the cross into this B site. Maniz and Darko, however, have rotated in, and we'll look to hold them in that direction. And you've also got Lunatic, who should be able to stop them wrapping back around if they do come in the other direction. So this is going to be interesting. The bomb, however, yet to really make its move. It's seeming like a bit of a fake to try and dislodge these players. Mani's still holding onto the cross, but now that he falls, this might actually pull the rotations away from the other players. However, Goofy has yet to fall for this, and he's just waiting patiently. Lunatic has spotted the push coming in, and Goofy now has everything to do. Do they expect him to be here? They do. And that is a round that was a big risk, in fact, from OG, but it worked successfully because Issa was able to get 2 kills on the lower bomb site.
Looks like Sobel, though, will be able to save the op. And OG should be able to keep 3 players left alive, which is going to be good. Only having to force up 2 buys. And OG, I mean, the thing is, I feel like they're finding this match to be a lot more difficult than maybe they necessarily expected. I mean, obviously, with how much better PACT has done this time around. And we've already seen them take a timeout to talk some things over. They were unsuccessful the round after. But looking on the side of PACT, I mean, Darko on 10 kills. Lunatic, again, a little bit quiet, but that's kind of what we expect. He's playing the support role. Sobel on 10. On the other side, though, Valda on 3, Mantu on 4. And MBK, again, leading the way for his team, even though they only have 3 rounds to their name. All right, so PACT going to go for a timeout here to talk some things over. And I think that's respectable. I think these rounds haven't necessarily gone as cleanly as they hoped. And maybe we're going to adjust a couple of things. I mean, we saw Darko push up towards ramp before and catch them out. I don't know how many times that's really going to work in a row, though, here for PACT if they want to go for something like that. And even Goofy's shown some presence in towards Hut in some of the rounds earlier on. So we'll see what they go with here.
It's interesting to me, though, that we are having to see a fair bit more depth from OG in order to counter PACT. Like, that round is one that I don't think you throw in too often. Like, fake towards the lower bomb site, which relies quite heavily on Issa getting entry kills, and then a fake that pulls them back in. It was risky, but I like the idea. It's something that you don't really see very often on Nuke, and normally it involves players wrapping back around, which we could see the side of PACT were ready for. Now, though, with a MAC-10 in hand, my eyes are sort of kept on Alexi B. And what's he going to be doing here? It seems like it's a risky push towards the ramp, maybe realizing that Darko is someone that they can pressure. And in fact, they're not actually pushing off of this. They just wanted the ramp control.
Well, they've got it, and it seems they will push eventually off of that. The MAC-10 of Alexi B going to net themselves nothing as Darko's going to be under a lot of fire here. The rotations need to come in, and Sobel's going to be there and just trade 1 for 1. They know Darko's still down here, but Darko can't get the job done. Valdo will be down to 5 HP as Issa's going to do a late rotate in towards Secret. He might be able to catch up the player who's dropped inside of Vent. I believe that's going to be Lunatic. Down into the 3-on-3 after plant with Goofy having the only kit in their hands. Can they defend it? Spaniz coming in from ramp. I believe Goofy's heading that direction as well. And Lunatic could play the spoiler here for OG in this round.
The time is ticking. Molotovs are being expended, and I don't even know if they have time for anything here. Lunatic's kill could make things interesting, but they have to get going. They need to get someone onto that bomb, and they need to do it now. And, well, it is just not happening. They're being picked apart. No time left on the clock. PACT just take too long. Well, Valde may go down to the bomb, but he took 4 people with him before he did.
You saw OG have so much utility left. When they actually got into the bomb site and the bomb planted, they had, what, 2 Molotovs for ramp? I think they had another one to expend. They had, what, like 4 or 5 flashes left still? Really cost-efficient way to get in towards that lower bomb site. Even they did trade out 2 players. Well, yeah, 2 players. Because Sobel got 1, Darko got 1. And then Baldo's low HP. And now a big push coming in towards outer. And Lunatic actually is going to be the one here with the Deagle to try to stop them. And he gets, unfortunately, nothing. I mean, he's trying to even go for a falling Deagle shot here as he peeks around the corner for no luck. And it looks like OG might have themselves a clean round finally after, what, the pistol round?
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough half for them. They did have a clean one, I guess, in round number 8. But that was mainly because it was a save. So they got the 2 entry kills, and then the remaining players actually saved. So still a very good money-making round for them, and finally starting to see a few of the players I think we need to see rise to the occasion. Because it's not like there's anybody really like lagging behind, like are very slow in the match. It's more just that we're not seeing the stars. And while I think Valde getting 4 kills in the last round and picking up a few eco frags here as well could make things a little bit more interesting as they get their 5th. As said, 6 is already a decent half when it comes to Nuke. Even 5 is workable as well on the CT side, so it's not too bad now from OG. I'm less worried than I was just moments ago.
Well, I think they might not even stop at 5 here. I don't know, it seems they've been able to figure out what PACT are doing. You talked about before of OG having to dig a little bit deeper to counter what PACT is doing, and since then they've been able to win quite a few rounds. Looks like Alexi B is going to go straight into the vent play yet again. And these, yeah, flashes are perfect. I think even the Molotov was thrown there was pretty good. That's going to be an early start for OGs. They even pick up Goofy as well. 5 on 3. And PACT try to get aggressive, and, well, again, PACT get punished for it.
It seems like they're actually trying to go for this round, and they have managed to find 1 kill. A lot of damage, but MBK and Mantu combined to shut them down, and I think they might have found the weakness. This B site has been somewhat of a safe haven for OG over the last few rounds. Out of control, it was attempted this round from PACT, but that round looked like when someone tried to copy art when they're not art, which it rarely works. There's a reason that we hype on about the Brazilian so much, is that he does things that no one else can do. Now, Maniz tried to get very aggressive on outside, and he just got completely owned by flashbangs.
Thing is, I can respect it because they've only tried that like once, and that was the round before where Lunatic had a deagle, and that was an overall save anyways. But yeah, that's just unfortunate because that could have been exactly what they needed to get an early start. I don't know how he would have escaped though after getting like the first kill unless he can hit follow-up shots. And either way, with the 1 gun save for PACT, gonna buy up a couple pistols, maybe some regular Kevlar behind this, and OG have been able to stabilize their economy here for the last 2 rounds of the half. I think it's very likely we're going to see OG get themselves up to 8 here in this half, actually, which would kind of be a shame for PACT because they were starting to look a lot better, definitely compared to the last time they played.
Oh, that was a hell of a lot of grenades. Unfortunately, it did, well, 12 damage. So I always appreciate the attempt, but that one's a little bit too common for my liking. You got to try and spice it up. I think everybody knows the outside nade stack on eco rounds. It's something you'll see in matchmaking on a regular basis. Mantu, though, has pretty much walked all the way outside. The problem with only having pistols and very little utility is it's impossible to hold the yard with that little. Darko might be able to get the kill here as well. Valde is walking through the edge of that smoke. There are 2 players on the other side of it. If he gets around this corner... Oh! That is what you call threading the needle. That is amazing. The timing of that couldn't have been any more perfect.
Well, now with the last 3 players alive, Lunatic's going to save, I would hope. Goofy maybe looking for the exit frag. But OG again, 5 players remaining. At least after the bomb gets planted. I don't know if that's going to be the case at the end of the round, but they've got the money to spend anyways for the next round. We're PACT. Well, at least they have the loss bonus on their side, Tom, but they haven't been able to pick up a round in the last few. And going on the T side, which technically is their stronger side. I mean, maybe they're going to have a chance, though I feel like, again, Nuke and Train are a little bit of a different story when it comes to getting aggressive and being successful on the T side. But we'll see here. Last round of the half. M4 is bought up. Utilities there as well. And OG don't seem to be too bothered here after the rough start, I'd say.
Yeah, 7 rounds on the T side of Nuke is a pretty decent showing for them, especially when you consider that is now 5 rounds in a row and an aggressive push. Sure, Valde goes down, but this is the confidence back for OG. This is what we needed to see from this roster over the last few days, and I'm glad to see it here. Of course, this is crunch time. They lose this map, and they will not be making it to New York, and their week will only be getting worse after going out in the semifinals of DreamHack and not making it through yesterday. Still, this round is in contention. There's still rifles available for PACT, and 3 players stand in their way from an 8th round on the T side, which, as said, 7-2 down. I definitely wasn't a believer in this happening, but OG have shown some real resilience here. And with a minute left on the clock, I'm starting to get a bit worried for PACT, as just this slow style out from OG is probably making them feel a little bit awkward about where they should go.
They still have Issa lurking outside. The other 3 looking in towards the lobby to make the push in towards upper. They do have 3 Molotovs, so I'd imagine Lunatic isn't going to be able to survive from this spot too long. There it comes, and well, he's got the smoke for it, but now his position has been given up. Don't know how he's actually even going to get out of the spot, because they can just hold this angle. Even throw another Molotov after, but 30 seconds left on the clock. They're making their way in. Sobel has to come up big, but Issa's going to drop him as he rotated from outside. And Mantu even takes Lunatic down. He's just tucked away behind the second vent. And now Darko's left alone. 4 players. Bomb planted. This should be an 8th round now for OG.
Yeah, I'd be impressed if it isn't. Well, I'm impressed by their comeback. 8-7 looking inevitable, and Darko, he's not had a bad game, but for his team, this is not the half they were hoping for. MBK is there to close it out, and OG are going to take the lead after being at a fairly big deficit. They need this map if they are going to be continuing in the New York EU qualifier, and we'll be back after a short break to see if they do.
No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together and staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, but pack your bag now, keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go make the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back.
it's a little bit dicey for Sobel, and the bomb down in the open is definitely an issue.
I just realized my mic was muted that entire time.
Already, Issa is going to find a kill, and Mini's just hoping to try and steal the bomb away. I don't think he even got it. It's going to be OG. 9-7. And well, that is not quite what we were hoping for if PACT were going to take this in a 2-0 fashion.
Well, I wasn't hoping my mic was muted either, but, you know, that's how things end up sometimes. And we do see, like you said, OG take the round. Now, again, they took the pistol round on the T side, and then they lost thereafter. Though we're not seeing PACT go for the same kind of investment here in the second round. So we should ideally be seeing a second for OG in a row, get themselves to 10. And I think this is where OG is really going to start to step up here. And obviously the T side was pretty strong last time they met. Here, a little bit of a different story, but I think this is something we can definitely count on them as improving from the first half. And Darko's on 12 kills. He's got the P250, and Mantu just going to spot him out and obviously let MBK know there's a player dropping on top of him. And that will be the early man advantage. Again, best case here for PACT to get the bomb down. But I don't see that really happening without any utility to use unless they get some ridiculous shots.
Well, MBK's taken a bit of damage. I'm trying to very, very slowly break this door. And well, they're going to get a little bit of help from Issa, it seems. And then the nade from MBK. I do wonder if in this round they're just talking some things over, as this seems like a pretty odd strat. Pulled from the very depths of the strat book, the knife the door until somebody blows it up with a grenade strat. And the thing is, more players are actually just bouncing smokes in, so pretty much just delaying the inevitable. And they're actually going to try and go back to ramp, but Valde has not moved. He hasn't been baited in on a rotation, and he will clean things up very nicely indeed. 10-7, lead increased for OG. And they've actually made a relatively decent amount of money, considering that you don't get a bonus round anymore.
I mean, I still think technically this could be doable for OG if they play these MP9s right. I would imagine, though, PACT's going to be playing outside. You know, set the wall of smokes up, towards secret, maybe even not set the smokes up necessarily, and give yourself an angle to play against, because they know they're going to be up, or what they're going to be up against here. Okay, instead, going to go towards ramp. Double nade comes through. Flashbang as well, and Goofy just has no chance to hit a shot here. Valde comes around the corner, perfectly timed, but now he's going to fall. Even Mini's getting a kill onto Alexi B. Does get the early advantage over to PACT. But will they expect another player to be here? It's going to be MBK again, trying to play this close range, this close quarter combat position. Well, now they're going to know there's another player here towards ramp. But I like how PACT is showing they have a little bit more depth to their strat book, as we talked about yesterday. Seeming to be aggression was all they really had to use. But here, slowing things down and for good cause. This is a big round for them to win. If they lose it, the money for OG is just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, it's one that they really can't afford to lose if they are going to continue within this map. Of course, the third has changed. It's Dust 2 this time, which I do think gives a slightly better opportunity to PACT if they keep playing at this high individual level. Still got Sobo and Darko performing well. It's Goofy who's actually a little bit quieter here at the moment, and well, he's dead in this round as well. Mini's waiting for rotations, but it seems like he was just waiting for his death as Issa peeks out, and even while holding the angle, still going to win that duel. And now with a decent amount of utility, a kit in play, and the majority of players still having rifles, there is a damn good chance this goes the way of OG. I do like, however, that they put 2 men in this corner. This will be surprising. Darko, all he has to do is just sit back, relax, let Lunatic do the work. Sobel already chimes in with another, and they may not expect this player to be in the corner. That's the whole bait. And Darko, well, he peeks a little earlier than maybe expected to make sure that Lunatic survives, and PACT will get their 8th. However, as said, they did relatively well with their bonus round, so OG can still buy.
Yeah, I got a good couple of kills. It was funny, I was actually going to criticize Darko and Lunatic there for holding that same spot, but then as the round played out, It definitely worked out in their favor. I think the real linchpin, though, was Sobel there. The first kill he gets towards... I'm not sure which player that was. And with him falling, I guess it kind of forced Darko to actually peek out to, like you said, make sure Lutic doesn't fall. And Valda, his head cleanly taken off. But again, we talk about unexpected second players. Will they expect the player to be right here? It's Mansu gets a spray onto 2, but Goofy will respawn. However, he's taken down to 28 HP, and Mansu might have given them a real chance to win this round. As Issa and Alexi B are going to be the last 2 remaining with the full HP. Oh, man, that's so unfortunate for PACT. You would kind of assume, all right, we killed Valda. There should be a clean taken towards ramp, but Mantu is waiting. But we see them transitioning back to the upper bomb side, and technically no one's even holding this direction. Issa sat very far back, trying to see if they want to transition in towards heaven, and they're going to get the clean take here. The clean plant should come down, and Alexi B might even have to rotate out to secret to even get back into this bomb site. But if you're OG, I'd almost say you just save with the 2 rifles.
Yeah, I think if they had the same overview that we did, knowing the amount of damage that's been done, there's a far higher chance that they at least try something, especially with an HE in the hands of Alexi B. I think they would have risked it, but obviously without the knowledge that one player's on 5 HP and the other's on 28, the right call is to save here. Make sure that you have something going into the next round. And also, don't make it easy, I guess, for PACT going forward. Because as of right now, the 2 rounds they've won are 2, and I want to say 3, but I'm waiting to see how far they get away from the bomb before I confirm that. I think that is going to be 3 players surviving, so that's good at least. But they're not making too much money over on that T side, so there's still a real chance that OG can make things very costly for them going into the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, very true. I think PACT, though, kind of smell the blood in the water at the moment, right? 9 to 10. Obviously, they still have a long slog to go to get themselves into New York. And the thing is, like I said before, this is the last chance for both these 2 teams. And if you qualify through, you're playing against the likes of Big, Complexity, FaZe, Fnatic, G2, Vitality, and Heroic. It's a lot of strong teams, and there are a lot of chances to make a name for yourself. I'm hearing a lot of chatting going on. I'm assuming this is going to be...
Stop.
What damage was done to Alexi B before or after that?
They typed it before.
Okay.
I think the nade may have been flying through the air, but I don't think the guys at PACT are really going to mind too much. It's mainly just a ping issue again, a slight spike. I think this time it might be more so on Issa than anything else. So, and it's I do love that. It seems that every single time there is like a slight ping spike, someone on PACT needs the toilet. So it's happened both times. There's been a pause. I don't think the pause has actually lasted very long. It's just that someone is drinking a hell of a lot of water, which, hey, you know, you gotta get your 2 liters a day. I'm definitely guilty of not doing that as often as I should. And yeah, if that means you need the toilet every technical pause, that's okay.
I wish we had that we could call a pause in the game so we can go to the bathroom. I don't think you've ever really become a full-fledged commentator if you didn't have to run to the bathroom mid-match and have your co-commentator just carry on for you.
It's worse when you're solo casting.
Just go into the bathroom and, yeah, just carry on.
Hey, wireless headsets exist. You've just got to time it where like, oh, that was a nice one.
I think you have to get a little bit lucky. I don't know how you see your monitor from your bathroom, but sounds like a setup I need to get.
It's not that far away. I don't think I could. Maybe need a few mirrors set up.
Then you end up seeing things backwards. You're like, I don't know what's happening. Why
is
the
the thing?
on the left?
I remember there was a video of a guy who, what he did was he like recorded his TV and then sent the video feed to his phone so he could continue to play the game while on the toilet.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's a hardcore gamer right there. That's like a South Park moment with World of Warcraft. I mean, I've commentated with no pants on before, and I don't mean the British term of pants, but that's also because it was like 46 something degrees inside the studio I was in, and it was extremely hot. And just like this play at a PACT to sneak through into lower. Get themselves 2 players down there, even a smoker to come in. They're going to continue to push off the back of this and get the bomb down. Again, OG Only have the 2 rifles saved from the round before and some pistols to back it up with. But again, trying to make it costly for the enemy side is exactly what they need here.
Well, already 2 pretty tasty kills. It's MBK that we're watching as he looks to try and come in on the flank. Of course, the bomb already down and chances of winning the round slim. Of course, the other remaining 2 players from the side of OG are just going to want to keep themselves this extra weaponry. The thing that surprises me here, Jason, is how much they've actually invested.
For OG?
Because going into the next round, yeah, for OG. Because going into this, where I was saying, okay, they'll be buying in the next round anyway. In theory, they can, but it will still be a kind of sucky buy because you'd need both Issa and Alexi B to drop guns. They would then still have fairly limited utility. Mantu would not have his AWP. And yeah, you basically still wouldn't have a full buy. So I guess their decision here was, okay, we're not going to be buying in the next round either. We want to make sure we save up for the full, which I can respect to an extent. But unless, again, we see some sort of hero play off the back of the pistols, it's going to be a lead taken for the Poles.
I feel like there might be a hole being dug for them. Obviously, they can easily come back from that. Issa is going to lose one of the few guns they have in this round as he tries to get cheeky over towards Secret. Alexi B, though, in a good position, but it doesn't matter. They get the double peek on top of him, and now it's left yet again to the pistols. And as you said before, this should be PACT taking the lead with a 5-on-3. I know MBK's done some serious work with the Deagle. I don't know if the PT50 here can really net the same kind of performance or results in this round. And credit to PACT. They lose the pistol, they lose the second round, and I think they lost one more in there, and they've been able to win everything since. I mean, 2 rounds. This will be number 3, though.
Oh yeah, no, they lost the pistol, they lost the second, then they've won 3 rounds in a row, and this will be their
the fourth. Okay.
So,
all right, OG. Had 8.
Yeah, OG managed to win the half out, and that's the other thing as well. I'm impressed by the resilience of PAC, considering they were winning 7-2. That's something we still have to bring in, and they lost 6 rounds in a row towards the back end of the last half. So it could be very easy for a squad to be demoralized, to basically feel like they're out of this match, and instead they lose the pistol as well, and then from then on it's been all PACT, and I've been really impressed. Again, Sobel, someone in the series we saw last time versus OG, did very well on train, then of course the whole team fell off in the next map. He's top of the board again, and someone that definitely needs to be watched. I wouldn't say that he's like a household name within the Polish scene, like someone that's always like watched by different squads, but I think PACT have clearly done a very good job of building a decent level team. As said, they were 3rd, I think, in the ESCA Mountain Dew League season, but didn't manage to make it work in playoffs, which at least shows that in best of 1, they're able to get consistent results. If they now beat OG and get to New York, even if you think that OG are having a bad day, that is a huge result for the Polish side.
It really is. Again, like the caliber of teams they're against. Big, Fnatic, Complexity. Like, this is a big dog tournament for them, and for them to finally get themselves a breakthrough moment into something like that would be huge. And we're going into OG finally able to buy up again, as they're currently down the 1 round. And Mantu, he's gotten very aggressive towards ramp. Easy gets the first kill, and if they transition towards lobby, he should be at least getting the 1 kill, and that's the bomb spotted. Oh, the timing. Pulls out the flash. I would have been able to get a second kill, but so far being up 5-3 is not too bad of a start here for OG to finally get themselves around after losing 4 straight.
Yeah, of course, this is where we expect things to get tough for PACT, as their opponents now have a bye. Alexi B is actually going to get away with doing a fair amount of damage from the ladders. I don't know how he seems to do that so consistently, and Valde is there to close the round. A good return to prominence for OGs. They do equalize the scoreline, of course. This only puts a small dent. And yeah, it definitely is Issa. Issa jumped up to 158 ping. So having a few issues, but hopefully it'll just be as quick as last time, and they'll be right back into things.
Hope so. Hope so indeed. He's definitely been struggling here with the with ping in this entire match, right? having quite a few problems. But, you know, again, with what's on the line here, I think OG, yeah, why would you take the technical timeout? Considering if you lose 5 more rounds, you're out of New York. But let's see, Goofy. I mean, we talk about players performing well or not performing well. Goofy's definitely one I'm going to be looking at here. He's one of the names I talked about quite a bit in yesterday's match, even in the first day against OG. But he's only on the 9 kills, where Darko and Sobel already on 16 and 18 respectively. I mean, Goofy may not be the entry fragger necessarily, but he's definitely a consistent fragger for the team. And I think that you'll probably agree with me when I say this, that if PACT want to close out this map or win on Dust 2, they're going to need everyone hitting their shots. Because it might be OG having a little bit of a lackluster play from some players from the first map, but it's still OG. Why you gotta taunt me like this? You know I can't see chat.
Like, MBK just makes me laugh. Pretty much everything he says in chat is hilarious. So, like, he goes, basically, the Issa's checking if anybody's downloading stuff in his house. And I think Maniz asks, like, is he back? And he goes, oh, he's not back. Yeah, he lives in a huge mansion. And then after, like, he basically just started, like, making up more stuff. And then Alexi B just goes, he's kidding. We're ready.
Aww. I mean, Finnish people don't joke, right?
It's like, come on, be serious. And they should be. They are currently 11-11 on their own map choice. And if they lose it, they're out. And that would be, as said, probably one of the worst weeks for OG ever.
They got, what, 2 AKs here? Utility's still looking good. I mean, they got some decent money behind MBK and Valda. On the other side, again, decent money for PACT too, even if they lose this round. It looks like they will go for an outside play here, trying to set up some smokes. MBK is going to be tucked away, though, inside a garage. I'm not sure if they're going to expect the position he's going to be holding. But they will get a smoke off, so it doesn't matter. Unless it's a perfect spray through it. Or a perfect shot, but they're still taking their time, and they obviously Molotoved off secret, so they're going to leave themselves the opportunity to push in through there if they want to. And Sobel's just going for the lurk, so it looks like it will be a lower play. Trying to catch anyone going towards vent. But look at Mantu, this spot. He has to at least get one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does. It doesn't even seem like there's going to be any sort of flashbang. Lunatic goes in, but Mantu, well, he pushes them back. They can't get any further than this. The flashbang eventually comes out, but he's already repositioned. They don't expect the vent spot from Mantu. And while they finally put him down, and Sobel has actually caught another. However, it's very short-lived, and he's gone up while reloading. And I think MBK has a very good idea that he's here. Edge of the smoke. I like this play from Darko, but MBK's not falling for it. 12-11. OG take back the lead after the purchases start to come up for them. Of course, there's still a buy in here for PACT, but it's starting to get on the brink once again.
I'm not sure how that kill for MBK and Sobel didn't say it was a smoke kill. Because there was clearly a smoke there. I'm really confused on that. I know there's some kinks that still need to be worked out. But again, a good hold by MBK. They went in towards lower. Obviously, Mantu having the triple kill helps a hell of a lot. And we'll go for the early main control with the Molotov, keeping the CTs back from getting that position. Though you can already see Mantu's going to be watching outside. And PACT, they don't really seem to want to challenge this. I think this is where things are going to get even more tough for them. Losing rounds now when they're on T side of Nuke. And when OG start to really hit their shots, it's going to be difficult. And they're actually just grouping up completely and Hut making the push come through. He's just not blind at all, but he'll get the one kill before he's finished off. And now in towards main. Goofy gets a second. And again, I talked about him before, having a little bit of a slower start here in this game. But he comes up big in this round. Is this a save already? It is.
Yeah, the CTs don't have the worst cash in the world, but again, we see how tough these retakes can be. And if they were to lose every single weapon, it wouldn't be a good position to be in. I think Maniz actually did think they were going for that. So he backs out trying to check heaven, quickly realizes that they're actually within the spawn. And well, I guess, at least for the remaining members of PACT, they will know that there's not going to be anybody facing off against them. Still, scoreline going to be equaled back up as PACT take it to 12. The thing is, this really isn't going to affect OG too much. They will have some extra cash to come in. They'll also have the weaponry able to be dropped, and it will keep them strong for the next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you give up the round, but you're not out of the next. It would have been, like you said, a worst-case scenario if they lost all 3 players, and then they really didn't have money to spend. Let's see, Man2 back on the op. I wonder if he's going to be aggressive again. We saw 2 rounds ago he holds towards lower, gets a triple. Last round he goes towards garage and doesn't get a spot onto anyone, unfortunately, because we saw PACT not go that direction. It was such a, honestly, risky play. 4 players in hut to push in towards the upper bomb site, but obviously it works out, so you can't complain too much. But I think Darko was just legged by Man2. The smoke coming through has halted that aggression. They immediately back off, so they're not going to commit to the ramp. Luckily, they have Sobel on another position in the map to maybe open things up somewhere else. But where do they go from here? I mean, it seems like they were super committed towards that ramp hit. The mid-round call has to be perfect now, as it looks like it will be a transition towards outer. And again, no one's in secret. MBK's in the back of garage. But MBK got a double kill the last time he played this position, though he wasn't from the garage. It was more in towards main. And now here come the smokes. I think the thing is, though, if you compare this round to 2 rounds ago when it was pretty much the same strategy being executed, well, Man2's not down towards... Well, is he down towards lower? Is he holding this angle again?
He is going there. You can see him making his way down the ladder. Maniz has also given up some information with the sound cue. However, this time he's caught on the rotation, and that could be everything. There's nobody else to even rotate in quick enough to try and deny this push. Valde is around the ramp, but they've got to make that decision once again of if this is worth going for. Alexi B certainly thinks so, as he's going to be in a good spot. He denies the bomb, and at least buys some time for the remaining players to get back into position. And also, because some of the utility is expended, they're going to be able to get further down the ramp. Maniz, though, does have himself another Molotov.
This has to be a save.
Yeah, it's a shame because, again, it just seems like they've managed to find a few little gaps in the defense, and that's enough for the round to just end.
Yeah, I mean, if what? Man2 gets down a couple seconds earlier, 5 seconds earlier, he could have got himself set up on the staircase again and maybe got a couple of kills. I mean, the Molotov came through. Maybe that was why he thought he was free, because it's like, all right, why would they throw a Molotov in towards Secret if they haven't pushed Secret yet? And then we saw them obviously do just that with Sobel. Gets ahead, catches Man2 off guard, and then Man2 falls. So like you said, that little exploit in the defense out of PACT gets them a 13th round and 1 step closer to closing the series out at 2-0 and getting themselves into the Intel Extreme Masters New York EU event.
Would definitely be a shock. All right. Heroic beating them out 2-0 yesterday was even a little bit of a surprise, but if they lose now to PACT, that would be a real worry for OG. Maybe some extra work needing to be put in after the player break. Maybe they've not quite come back from it just yet. 13-12, still a very close scoreline. Yes, sir. Oh, he's not going to have to do anything just yet, as Alexi B just waiting in the vents. It's like he's trying to deny plays he made himself.
Right? Let me just sit in vents so they can't run down. I'm a bit worried, though, because if OG lose this round, I mean, money's still going to be hurting. And they might have to go for that save yet again if they have players remaining. But at least they have the man advantage. They still have a decent amount of utility behind this. And now PACT have to change things up yet again as the push out of Sobel doesn't work out. Setting up the smokes outside, but as we can see, they're transitioning back towards lobbying. I think with Maniz already there, I think they're going to go for an upper hit yet again.
Oh, Man2 seemingly about to come under pressure. Maniz caught with a nade in hand, and now they're going to run the gauntlet back to the ramp, but Valde is in their way. He's pretty much closed out this round, and Lunatic, well, there's not really a chance for him here. He's going to be met with an open door. and an AWP in his face.
There we go. OG, all the saves eventually work out for them. Still going to be money to spend on PACT side as they're going to take themselves a timeout. So no real threat for them in this round to buy. I do wonder, though, in the following round if they're going to be able to fully commit, because that would be OG on 14. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we really need to praise PACT a bit, because Train looked good again. And then when they get to nuke for the second time they've met OG, they looked much better. I mean, look at this, 13-13. They're definitely showing they have some depth to themselves and obviously the individual skill to match up against OG. If this does go to a third map, I'm really curious to see how Dust 2 would go. And here we go, back into it. Full buy from both teams. Are they rushing this? Oh, they're going to do it. Manish just goes straight out of hut. No one even spots him. Alexi B eventually able to get it, though, as he's on top of it. And the backup's really not there, except MPK's fallen. Lunatic's been able to get around towards main. Sobo loses the duel up against Mantu, and so does Goofy, and it looks like OG will be able to defend this as Darko's going to fall through the hut. OG get themselves on 14, and PACT without a bomb plant. The money is looking thin.
Yeah, this is now a rough position. Once again, it seems to just go back and forth all the way through, but unfortunately, it seems for PACT, they might have fallen at the final hurdle. They had the momentum in their favor, but we could see those rounds where OG were just saving those guns. And it finally took the break back 2 in a row. Fast play not working, and they've seemingly stepped up at just the right time. Mantu, someone I mentioned, is maybe not having the highest amount of impact so far in this qualifier. Currently 24-15. He's just been nailing it with the AWP. 2 rounds where it really felt like it could have gone either way, and he's given them a 14th. Still definitely some quieter performers for them, but I'm sure if they get it over the line, they're not going to mind too much.
Yeah. Oh, Goofy might have bought the perfect time here. Looking for the angle. Maybe looking to open the door as well to go for the shot. Spots out a leg, but can't hit anything, unfortunately. It should be a pretty quick cleanup for OG as the bomb now thrown forward. And Lexi B and Iza will stop them from hitting the upper bomb site. But then again, that was just a couple of pistols for PACT. They were playing for the overtime. And now they're going for the full buy here, Tom. OG, one more round to take it over to Dust 2. But can they close this out? Can they keep their hopes alive for making it into New York?
Well, they've at least got rifles, utility. This is what they saved for. What if we see some of those pinnacle performances? That's a really nice nade to start from MBK. He's going to deny them that early presence that they want. It's been the B site where we've definitely seen some weaknesses, but with his ability to slow them down, and now Valde has actually switched his position as well. We've seen him more dedicated to the ramp. Goofy just about wins that battle, but in terms of the war, it seems like OG are favored. Still going to be trying to pressure this lower ramp position, but ultimately the B site seems like it's locked down.
Yeah, I mean, the Molotov thrown in now, the smoke, Valde's bought so much time. They might look to flash through it, though, it looks like. But they're going to need this kill. Actually, it's a Molotov. They're running straight through the smoke, and Valde can just shut this down right here, right now. He gets the first and a second. Lutic's going to respawn, but it's going to be down to the 2-on-3 now, and Mantu's already rotated down towards lower to help. 50 seconds left to go. I think Goofy, though, that's the guy we're going to have to watch here. He can play spoiler, but he's got Alexi B to worry about in towards T lobby. Luckily, they have the bomb in the hands of Lunatic, who's still back towards Secret. He's going to have to move over towards main. And it pretty much comes down to Goofy now. Can he clear out the rest of the site? Can he make sure the bomb can transition in?
It's Alexi B. His position could be so vital. I think he's just watching to see if anybody crosses over from the door. And like Goofy should have a smoke or something for this. It's a flash instead, and I'm going to be honest, I would have much rather just seen him try and help his teammate get the bomb down. He went to try and set him up for the kill, and instead it is their falter. It will be OG scraping their way through their map choice of nuke. It means that there's one more to come, and it's Dust 2 to decide it all. OG versus PACT. One map, one of them goes through.
Yeah, and we do have to head to a short break before we get this one back underway. Not sure exactly when we're coming back, but you can assume about 15 minutes from now. So we'll see you guys in just a few for the continuation of our final match of our qualifier.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
About AT&T's big 5G news.
AT&T has nationwide 5G?
Yep.
And that's faster?
Faster, yeah.
But is it reliable?
Uh-huh, and secure.
You should consider making a big deal about it.
Bigger?
I said bigger.
Oh, bigger deal, bigger than what I'm doing?
It's not complicated. A 5G network needs a 5G device. Now everyone, including existing customers, can get a free Samsung Galaxy Note 20 after trade-in.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds, and planes are piloted from the other side of the world. The future's not coming, it's already here. Join us and be the future.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams.
Smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We love the thrill. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. It's just the way we live. We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We're grown-up kids.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. Yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. Yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. A shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting the blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of, a moment of, a moment of darkness. I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of, a moment of, a moment of darkness.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now. Get out now. Go with the move, go for the goal. Lead up the stadium, you know it's down. Stand up.
Well, we are back into it, ladies and gentlemen. The final map of the series to determine who's going to be going through into the main event and who, unfortunately, will be watching from home. Well, they'll be playing from home as well, but you get what I mean here. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Tom Biz. And Tom, I can't wait to get Dust 2 started, because honestly, going into this map, I'm not fully sure who's going to win, considering PACT seem to be so good at playing aggressive and so good individually that a very puggy map like Dust 2 could be exactly what they need to beat OG.
Yeah, I'll be honest, coming into this one, I was like pretty much within the OG camp, expecting this to be a relatively easy game for them. I thought they'd fix their mistakes on Train and then have a similar performance on Nuke. It's been almost the opposite. Like, their Train was exactly the same, like in terms of scoreline, and their Nuke was, well, 10 rounds worse. So it's tough to say which way this is going to go. And after what was Inferno last time, clearly PACT have decided that they've got more of an opportunity on Dust 2, and in a sense, I'd agree with them. I think it's got more of that individual fight that I've wanted from them, and something that's been so successful. And speaking of it, here is Sobel looking for that early aggression, getting out of here. Should be impossible, but he finds a headshot onto one at least as a parting gift.
Not bad, considering the worst part of that could have been him just dying immediately. And Izza, well, that's a player we talked about when it came to Train as underperforming. It seems like he's been able to step up on Nuke and definitely step up here in the first round of Dust 2. As Goofy left alone at the A site, he will crumble. Darko gets one in the meantime, but still in a 1-on-3 now. Not really going to be too possible, and OG will take the round. So there we go. Good start for them. Can they continue that momentum forward? I'm really just... I don't know how to feel coming into this map sometimes, Tom. I know a lot of people say, oh, I hate Dust 2, yada, yada, yada. I still like Dust 2, and I will always like Dust 2 because it's just the bread and butter. And I think the very first map I ever played on when it came to Counter-Strike back in 1.6, when I was a lot smaller and a lot thinner and a lot more good-looking.
You're only 6'3".
Yeah, I was only 6'3" there when I was 8 years old when I first played Counter-Strike, but... No, it always has a special place in my heart, but I want to see how this is going to play out for the two teams, obviously. Because, again, OG, I mean, I think most people out there expect them to make it through to the main event, PACT. If they can somehow break through OG and qualify, that would be huge for them. Again, so many massive teams, big in there, Fnatic, Complexity. We saw Heroic qualify just yesterday. It's going to be a real way to sport their stuff. And, well, they have invested into this round with the Deagles and the Scouts. They got Lunatic playing from Car. Manise, he's going to be playing from site. So they could do some good damage onto OG before they get into the site. But they got to hit the shots, and these folks are going to make it very hard to do so.
Oh, you can see the push coming through. Nice shot from Manise as a start. Looking for a little bit more, but he will be pressured. I don't know if they'd expect the second scout to be on long. And in fact, Sobo already chiming in from short is causing them some issues. Still 3 players, but they're locked into the site. Darko able to get one, a second as well for him, and he just doesn't manage to close it out. It's MBK with a triple. Ever so close for the Deags of PACT, but it is the Rifles of OG that convert the round.
Still so close. What a play out of Darko. And again, Manise with the first headshot. OG going to be a little bit afraid of that, but again, now they have a chance to build up some money, right? Obviously, MBK is going to upgrade and drop over his Galil. They got Alexi B on a Mac 10. We got 4 nades, though, coming in for PACT. It looks like those are going to be all thrown in, well, different directions. Flashbang comes through. Manise completely blinded up. And that will allow OG to get out of long already. Oh, there's the double nade on Alexi B. But he doesn't really care. Like, as long as he stalls for time, the rest of his team is pushing long at the same moment. And now Darko will get one, but the site will still be taken. Not too bad of a round here for OG, or for PACT, to be fair. Getting 2 kills. But that's going to be it. And OG will get the 3-0 start that they were looking for.
Yeah, and this is a scary map to play versus a team like OG. Even with some of the underwhelming performances we've seen so far, it's one that like plays itself towards individual skill, momentum, and very much based off picks. And Well, as I said, we've not seen the best of Issa today. I think he's definitely been having some issues so far, but if he steps up and if Valde can continue, there's very much a chance that they will just run their way through PACT going into the final map.
I don't hope so. I mean, I agree. I think it should be OG still taking the series, but I hope to see a bit more out of PACT. I hope to see them give OG a run for their money and make them earn their way into the main event. But with this round, the first gun round of PACT, not looking too good, to be honest. Get completely mowed down in middle, and a very basic strategy for OG ends up working out. 4 rounds straight now for them.
Yeah, I like seeing these sort of rounds when you still have like SMGs and still have the Galils, because ultimately it's not a be-all and end-all round. They would have still had a purchase in the next. And it's one that pretty much guarantees you some damage at least, because it's very difficult to trade these rounds cleanly, especially when you don't have a massive amount of utility on the CT side. Like, you talk about tunnels, you talk about mid. Molotovs in those positions are so valuable with at least slowing down the pushes and allowing for rotations. These sort of rounds, you can make an educated guess that that's going to be the piece that ends up missing from the puzzle if you are on the PACT side. So good call by Alexi B. And as said, if his players are performing to a high standard that we expect of them on this map, I don't think they should have too much trouble. Already, though, we're actually going to see a pause called by PACT, maybe wanting to talk things over a little bit more with what they're going to do in this round. And it does seem like they're going to be juggling some weaponry to at least keep themselves competitive. Again, though, one of the major issues I had in the last round, just mentioned, is the fact that they had a lack of utility. And if they fully invest here, there'll be a few pieces missing once again.
Yeah, even the overlay. Oh, no, the overlay got up to good. I was going to say, even the overlay said low for the utility level. And like you said, they will force up, and they will have some utility to spend. I think a lot of it's going to depend on Maniz, though, on the AWP. I'm also really curious to see what angle he decides to hold. Maybe go for an early peek in towards middle. As we can see, OG don't have an op to deal with him. Or maybe just head towards long. It looks like he will be heading that direction. As they have a 4-man stack, actually. They really want to get this early control. The downside is OG don't even have anyone there, leaving Darko alone at the B site. As they will set Goofy off in towards long, and they'll retreat everyone else back towards CT spawn. Very risky move out of PACT, especially with how quickly paced OG played the last round. But it's still a lot of it to come onto Darko, and he's got only a flashbang left. And I don't think Lunatic can really get here in time, unless he's going to spot someone out. But here we go. Here comes the push, Tom.
Darko really under pressure. Lunatic at least able to get one, but even still, it's not quite enough. Mantu has come up strong, and a 3v3 retake is still not a pretty one, especially without utility. And I think they realize this. Sobel, he's going to take a big risk. He pushes through, but Issa has his teammates back. Exactly what we'd expect, and from this point onwards, should be a save. I'm surprised they're even thinking of going for this. A 2v3, no utility, no kit. Can't say I'm a believer, but Goofy does get one. Maybe within the realms of possibility now. But even still, it's going to be tough. And MBK, oh, he was facing the wrong way up until the last second. Spidey senses tingling. And well, you can tell that the natural born killer is the predator of the pole, as he could smell him coming.
You know, actually, MBK stands for his initials, right?
I know, but it sounds cool.
Wait, does it?
I know, no, it's Nathan something. I think it's a mix, right?
I actually no.
It's not.
I talked.
No, it's not.
I know it's not. But I just wanted to see if you would.
You bamboozled me for a second.
Yeah. No, it actually. I mean, it does mean natural born killer. I asked him a long time ago about that, just to confirm. And well, speaking about getting kills,
maybe it's Nathan born killer, and he just doesn't want to admit it.
He was like 8 when he made it. And he
it was just that it was someone was like, "Oh, natural born killer," and he went, "Wow, that's way cooler than what I thought of." Yeah, let's just scrap Nathan and.
I don't want to believe that, but you know what?
It's possible.
Anything could happen. Yeah, it could be possible. Who knows? So far in the round, not too bad for PACT. Again, the 5.7s, the Deagles, they get themselves an AK for Darko, and they get themselves a man advantage. But it's going to be OG all piling in towards long, and Sobel's going to have to defend this. Snow Smoke's coming through, and oh, maybe they should have been thrown down because Sobel and Darko respawned, leaving Valda alone against 4, and this might be PAC's first round.
No, 5-1. Definitely a round that I think OG will be a little bit unhappy about losing, but they're still going to have a purchase. They've done well to at least build some economy. And again, we're actually going to see Alexi B go for the MAC 10. So I wonder if we're going to see a faster play towards this B site once more. It has been one of the major weaknesses so far for PACT, that even if they do manage to hold onto the site, they are losing personnel. And you can already see the difference. Counter utility, smokes expended. And we may even see a little bit more after the fact, because I'm sure that Darko is going to be a little bit worried about this play. He's actually playing anti-flash, and with no teammate there, they're just going to run through. We see this risk taken from Alexi B on a regular basis, and it's worked out perfectly. Again, this round is already over, and he's going to upgrade to a free AK, and they're barely going to take... In fact, they're going to take 0 damage, Jason. It's 0.
You already see them running away to save, too, for the other side. Not a bad round, and obviously it's very risky to just kind of walk into the B site, but how can you argue when something like that works out so well? So they get themselves, like I said, the upgrades, they get themselves a 6th round on the board now, and again, like the round PACT has won, it wasn't even really a gun round, it was just the force about of pistols and the aggression that came through in towards tunnels that really started things off. A little bit of a start for PACT.
Yeah, 6-1 down. Like it's not like a nail in the coffin. The problem is I think it's fairly rare that we see teams being able to like grind things back if they don't at least get a few rounds on the board, because most of the time the momentum of the first team is just enough to take them over the line. And I'm sure OG are pretty much in a stance of, okay, let's get this done at this point. I don't think they're going to come through like with the celebrations of making their way through to the tournament, even though it should be. Nice nade, though, and they're not going to check. They're not going to check for Sobel at all. He's in a close corner angle, and, well, Mantu's trying to clear him. He may succeed, but it's at a cost, and the cost is his life. Teammate of MBK and Alexi B will at least get one. But getting this bomb out of here might be the major priority. There's actually no one else facing, so he should be able to. He has his doubts, and I can see why.
Thing is, there's still so much time left on the clock here. Considering PACT have given up the long control initially, OG still could work this in. The thing is, no smokes for the cross, though at the moment they don't have to deal with that until Darko would rotate in. But they do have 2 Molotovs for Minis over towards Car. Oh, they spawn him out as well. Right, he backs away, and Alexi B will respond. Now on the 1-on-2, and the player on site's probably just going to catch him off guard. He spots him out towards the right-hand side, and well, Lutic will close it out. So again, PACT take a round, and for the first time take themselves a gun round, more importantly. But money's still going to be there for OG, so it's really not that big of a loss for them.
Yeah, and again, with these backwards and forwards rounds, it's normally ends up hurting the CT side. Of course, they do have some extra cash off the saves that they've managed over the last few rounds. Again, we're going to see them edge their way towards that B site initially, but the amount of utility that's being expended on the B site now is actually a huge amount. In fact, they've 3-man stacked it. You can see that OG are firmly in the heads of their opposition, and rightly so. Their B side takes on the T side have been impressive. It's normally the tougher of the two. Now, if they were to switch things up and head towards A, well, that would be a hell of a lot of pressure on Maniz, who has not had the greatest start to this game. Of course, there's still a long way back, and he's now got his AWP more consistently in his hands. The other thing as well is, as I just said, they've been heading B a lot. He's not been there.
Well, he will be, it seems like, on the site they're going to hit this time. Smoke's going to come through, and Maniz just going to rotate over towards ramp to hold from this angle. It looks like it's going to be a fairly standard 3-2 hit. I mean, Goofy's got to hold long. Maniz has to hold them back towards short. That's the last piece of utility really coming through to keep him back. And Goofy will lose over towards long. So Maniz now, where do you go? You got to watch long, you got to watch short, and the flashbang comes through and not able to hit anything. And OG get a clean take, and you can see PACT immediately backing out, realizing again the money isn't looking too good for Goofy. Only on 300, and Soba only on 16. Lunatic only on 800. So smart decision being made, and OG. You got MBK on 2.3, Alexi B on 2.3. Doesn't seem they want to chase this down. But they will get 7 on the board.
Yeah, this was a round where I think you can almost say at this point that Alexi B is in the heads of PACT. Like, the fact that they stacked the B site, I'm sure it's something that you normally do in the early rounds, but to leave it there that long almost screamed to me that they went, okay, we've won a round, they're going to go back to what's working. And instead, Alexi B just basically said, nah, it's not really needed. Let's go towards that A site instead, put the pressure on, and, well, they overwhelmed Maniz and Goofy. Of course, again, with the amount of money that they're saving, it's no issue whatsoever for them to get another buy on the board. But even if we're looking at, say, 9-10 rounds on the T side for OG, that's more than enough for them to be able to take this over the line. Sure, they could easily get more at this point, but needing only 3 rounds from the next 5 when you've been dominating, it's not that big an ask.
Again, some solid early control towards long for PACT. I like it. I think we've seen a lot of teams in the past just struggle so many times when it comes to defending long. Again, the unfortunate part is that OG isn't heading that direction. Obviously, we saw Goofy lose that battle last time. It looks like they will push mid to B, and Soba, I would imagine he's going to be smoked off here momentarily. They decide to continue that push, but they're going to be having 2 players waiting the B side. Dark already taking some spam. I believe that was by Issa over towards tunnels. And he's again in a spot where he can just drop off of when he goes for the first shot.
Up for now. They have been able to delay the push, and still some extra nades being expended. For OG, though, they don't really need to dedicate themselves in either direction. In fact, they are going to sell a bit of a fake. The problem is the amount of time that's remaining. 30 seconds left. So we will see the push towards the B site. 1 player lurking within the tunnels. Valde is going to get the opener, but the trade comes back from Sobel. MBK, however, opens that B site completely, and once again, it falls a little bit flat for the side of PACT within the last few seconds of the round. Still, though, this is one of the better opportunities we've seen from them. A 3 versus 3, some low HP. They're going to get in nice and quick, but already one of their players is lost. Goofy also taken out by Issa, and now Maniz. Oh, well, you can say it, Jason. I've said it enough.
He's saving. Game time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock him for it. It makes perfect sense.
It's the right call. It's the right call.
It's just unfortunate because they obviously both try to go straight in through the double doors, and they just got mowed down, and OG will get that first half lead. We had such a close match on Nuke. We had a very one-sided game on Train for PACT. And now with the way it's currently going, though obviously we did see it happen on Train 2 days ago, it seems like OG might just be able to win this one one-sided as well. I mean, I hope PACT can come back. I hope we have a really competitive match here. But with just the rounds that they've won, even the rounds they're losing, they don't really seem to be all that close.
Well, the previously lower bank of OG has been built back up. With 8 rounds already on the board, they're looking strong. It's Goofy to get more aggressive here. Finally, a fight for long ensues. Man 2, though, he's going to trade both back. 9 kills already for him, and it seems to be pretty much every member of OG at the moment. Of course, the frags aren't off the scale, even with the scoreline, because of how many players have decided to save their weaponry. Meniz, though, hasn't had much to do so far, other than hold his gun. And if he doesn't manage to find anything here, you have to assume that this round's going to be over.
I mean, just look how passive they're being for OG. Really expecting PACT to get aggressive somewhere. You got MBK and Spawn finally now rotating towards long, so they continue to make the push through. They got the one smoke for the cross and maybe a Molotov to use the smoke off of that for it if they wanted, but it seems they're going to back off and head a different direction. I think Darko could be a pivotal player here in this round if he can hit these shots, as well as Meniz. Except they have no flash, they have smoke, no smoke, they have nothing to prevent them from rushing Meniz down, so he has to back away. And Darko, the flash is perfect, but the player who ran through the door didn't expect him to be there. Nade comes through. Darko, 1 HP left, will eventually be finished off by NBK, and they will close out the round, only still losing that one player. But that was odd at some points, Tom. That really felt weird sometimes.
Yeah, the fact is, though, it doesn't matter how it feels from our perspective. I'm sure from the Polish side, this is as demoralizing as it gets. This time, they not only won the first map, they played well in the second, and now third seems back to usual business for OG. It takes a long time, but we are finally going to see some sort of eco round. And, well, if they didn't have problems before, now not even having weaponry into this round makes things just a little bit more, well, I guess dark.
I mean, they at least did win one of the 2 rounds on a force-up with pistols. But yeah, I mean, no one really in the B site now. Meniz is able to rotate in. Darko's already dead. And Meniz might even fall too as the spam comes through. And it seems all too easy for OG. Only taking 15 points of damage across the entire team as it just dismantled PACT one by one.
Just 2 players remaining. We can't even really talk about making this costly. At this point, you have to hope for a 2 versus 5 if you're a PACT fan, because this is going to be double digits on the T side. The one map where you can normally give a slight favoring over to the T side, but this is insane, and, well, it's going from bad to worse. No shots connected, and Lunatic. There you go. There's at least one, but I have a feeling that, are they actually going to push him? Oh, I thought for a second they were just going to go full BM and just run at him, but they've made the smart call, the safe call, and just going to head towards being an easy plant.
BM? Nah. Oh, that's unfortunate. 10-2. Yeah, I kind of like share your thoughts earlier, like having that good game 1, a close game 2 that they maybe could have won, then to just get smashed by OG in the 3rd map. I really hope PACT's T side can come out flying. We talked about PACT having rough CTs when they're putting its existence yesterday. It seemed to have been stopped, though. They seem to have like fixed the problems that they were talking about before. But now as we move into Dust 2, it's just back to the same old story for them, unfortunately. I mean, Soul was on 10 kills. That's not too bad, but the 10 kills he's been able to get haven't been enough to really win too many rounds.
Flash comes through. Serval, it does a lot of damage, but he is still traded out. A 1-for-1, one of the better situations I guess we've seen from PACT so far. But look at their defense. It's completely split. Mid control is open, and they're just basically sticking to the sites. It's only Goofy with any real information for the squad. They'd need something big from him, and for now at least, OG are fairly content to just wait patiently. as Goofy does look to make a move. Still hoping for some information. A shoulder peek just a little bit too wide. Could be enough for Mantu to take him down. I'm not sure how that didn't connect. I guess the movement was just a little bit too much and the bullet went flying off to the side. Still, though, the time getting low. 35 seconds. Mani's getting aggressive. He's spotted out Alexi B, and that's one for free. Nade over the top could even kill off Issa, but well, it's not quite the damage he was hoping for. And they've actually had to go back and retrieve the bomb, and I guess Issa couldn't get back. I guess he was stuck. Molotov down. This round is looking over. 15 seconds left, and yeah, I think we've got a third.
Yeah, it should be. There we go, Darko. Double kill for him. The important one, though, on Issa to stop the bomb from making its way in towards the site, and that's going to be, like you said, a third round. But again, the money's there for OG. Their banks have been, well, not filled to the brim, but pretty healthy. And they're even going to be able to buy in the final round when we get into it. As OG look to get to 11 packed. I mean, 5 to 10 on CT side. It might be doable on T side when they swap over. Because, again, we've seen their T sides be generally their stronger sides. But it also seems like OG is playing pretty similar to the first quarter of when they played on Train 2 days ago with a 7-1 lead. Just absolutely dominating them. And a lot of the rounds didn't feel close, and a lot of the rounds here haven't felt close either. But it looks like they've been able to sneak Alexi B outside of middle. Soba's there, still to defend against it. No smoke, no flash coming in just yet. He might peek a little bit too wide. Maybe that's what OG are waiting for him to go for checking on that information. But they got 2 players there, and maybe Alexi B's just going to play a lurk role now. They get the kill on the Manise, big kill on a Mantu that opens up the A side. Alexi comes around the corner. And Darko doesn't have a chance. Soba's been forced to rotate back towards A. There's no refrag to be seen, and OG, relatively clean take towards A.
Oh, I'm loving like Mantu's AWPing in this map. Lightning fast. It doesn't give them a second to even think about what they want to do. And well, here you go, Jason.
He's got this.
Say it. What's he gonna do?
He is going to think about the next round and what he can do to win.
While
he continues to make sure he doesn't get picked off here in the last few seconds.
Which some people would call
dying.
Oh no! He didn't even do the second bit.
Why do you think I didn't say it, bro?
No, he's gonna. No, I just mean what you said. You said he's gonna try and do it without dying.
I mean, we know the commentator's curse couldn't be more true for me.
Do you know what? Risk doesn't believe in it, but you know there was a round. I think it was a couple of days ago where he said there's absolutely no way they could win this round, and then it was a pistol victory, which I won't lie, it tickled me a little bit.
That's what he gets for commentating in English. How dare he? I don't know. I think you could pretty much vouch for me that it does exist. And the amount of times I said something and it goes completely haywire after.
Oh, auto snipers. Here we go. How many kills are they getting, Jason, with the auto snipers?
I'd say they'll get 1 tag on the cross. No kills.
Okay. I think 1 kill. I believe. Ah, well, Lunatic's
not over
a
yet.
coward.
Okay, now it's over. So we're both wrong. Oh, no. Mantu hits Maniz, and he's lucky to be alive now as he backs away. The nade going to come in a little bit late. But again, you see the confidence.
Yeah, that was it. That's the thing. I genuinely think Mantu at this point is just styling. And I definitely think that's the thing with this OG roster. Both him and Issa, when they're having fun, when they're enjoying themselves, they're more terrifying than when they're necessarily like completely focused. Just because they go for some of these wilder plays, which teams just can't deal with. Their individual skill just spikes. Sobel, though, that's a really nice move. He's dropped the bomb, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on to it. And personally, I would have liked to see him fall back. Instead, the whole team looks to try and take control of middle. Look at MBK. There's no way they're going to expect him to be here already, right?
No. They shouldn't.
If only the observer could hear us. It may not matter. He might have this spot on, but there you go. There's MBK. He's going to get that kill from behind, and they'll close it out. 12-3, Jason. I don't think there's really too much to break down about this one. There will be a short break, and then we will be back to see if PACT can pull off a miracle.
Where the sun doesn't go down, and we will drift away until the day the world stops spinning.
Well, here we go. Right back into the game. The halftime is over. And Tom, we're going to find out maybe really soon if OG will be qualifying through into New York or if PACT can bring this back, as they are currently down 3-12 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, it's been a bumpy road, but OG are looking like they're back to the form we saw in the first time these two teams played, obviously losing Train and then blasting their way through PACT for the next two. I still hold out a little bit of hope for the Poles, though. I would love to see them make this sort of road back, at least make it competitive, because you don't really want to be going out on a blowout, especially when you played so well, especially when you were sat, in fact, like in the lead for a large part of Nuke, and then you've chosen to go here. Like, you had the choice of edging it towards Inferno again, obviously not feeling they could change enough to win that one, but they've taken it to Dust 2, and it is not looking good at the moment. As you can see, 12-3 scoreline, middle control going to be battled for, and it's been completely abandoned. The double smokes seem to be part of the plan, but Alexi B's found one through the smoke, and Valde's found one while blind through the smoke.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that was quick. I did like the double smoke. I'll give them that. Obviously, make it so you can't see over it when they try to get up towards the ramp. But the problem is, when you're being shot through a smoke, even while they're blind, do you ever really have a chance to win that round? I mean, obviously, a little bit of RNG in there. But that's unfortunate because they lose the pistol. They get no kills from it. And now they have to go for the... Well, actually, no, they're going to force up. All right. So Scout coming through, the pistols as well. If OG take this round, they should have themselves 15, Tom. And they should have themselves 1 round away from making it into the $140,000 event coming up on October 10th.
Yeah, well, the 2 teams we expected seem to be the ones we will get, unless the Poles really can pull off a miracle. And the problem is now, they're in the same spot we saw last time, where they're basically forcing until the end of the map. Unless they decide in the next round that they're going to eco and try and fight back 12 rounds in a row, which I can commend. But the chances are they are just going to be forcing until the very end. The push is going to be coming into this B site. Already, Issa is going to open things up. A second for him as well. And the full squad just seems to be performing in this map. There is no member of OG that it is safe to face off against. Goofy hoping he can at least get one, and it is as clean as you like. Only MBK taking any damage at all. And while 14 kills now, 14 rounds, Issa's definitely back on the server. But the fact is, as said, it's been a team performance, this map for OG.
Oh, yeah. MBK, though, I feel like he's been basically at the top of the scoreboard every single map, win or lose. Thinking back to the first map, he definitely was a standout for them. Whereas, unfortunately, he's had a big struggle, as we talked about before. Looks like they're going to barrel in towards the B site, potentially, again, forcing up into this. They have the head armor, they have some pistols, they have a MAC-10. Manice trying to actually sneak his way out of mid, and he actually might be successful in this because the push is going to be at the same time. Maybe we see MBK going to be overwhelmed. Manice does get the kill, and a second as well into Alexi B. This round looking possible now for PACT. Nice flash out of Alda, though. Allows Mantu to potentially get out and around, and he gets the kill. But still 2-on-3 retake, and Darko pushed out of window. He's trapped. They need to keep people alive inside the site, and he might burn to death if the smoke comes through. He'll be fine. And OG maybe should just save the M4s here.
Yeah, the rotation of Valde is so far away. I imagine at this point he's just saving for the exit. So if Mantu's going for this, it's almost purely based off confidence. At the same time, he might just be trying to hold them into the site. He's going to peek in. Sobel probably caught off by surprise. And I think Sobel must be dead here. There's no way he gets away. Even just tries to shoot the gun further into the door so that his teammate can go and get it. I appreciate that. Knew that he was dead, but wanted to save the gun. So at least OG make things very costly. The problem here is that it's probably more costly for them that they lose the gun.
Yeah. The thing is, with the score line... Okay, alright, OG can take a timeout. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. I guess they're trying to figure out if they do want to invest into this with the one weapon they have saved from Valde. I mean, Izzy can buy. The rest of the team would be looking rough. But then again, as we can see for PACT, their buy-up is rough as well. I mean, yeah, they have the 3 AKs. Sobel, I don't think they had an AK. Maybe it's actually not that bad. Maybe they did drop him an AK. I didn't see. Maybe it actually is a pretty decent buy. But the fact is, 10
there's
rounds
an M4
behind.
on the ground.
Oh, there's M4. Right. From the last round, you're right. But the fact is, they're still down 10 rounds. So for them to come back in this one, it would take a hell of a fight. That's going to take them pretty much everything they possibly have. Knowing that OG could just maybe get crazy and push long or push mid or just push something randomly and catch them off guard and get themselves to map.
You mean like this?
Yeah, map or match point off that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at least if there was like a few more rounds for wiggle room, you could talk about how if they build momentum, maybe some of the stars of OG like fall off a little bit, not quite able to get it going on the CT side. The problem is when you only need 2 rounds, I would expect you to be able to cheese 2 rounds.
Right.
Like you just pick some random strategies. Like I reckon if you just gambled on a site every single round, eventually you're going to get the right one and win it. So it really leaves PACT to have to be flawless. And that is a tough task to ask even the best teams in the world. Like we've seen Big making some fantastic comebacks. But from this sort of scoreline, even as a team, you just have to be demoralized. So I do think that this is over. And if they can bring it back, hey, I'll be thoroughly impressed at the mental fortitude of the squad, and more importantly, the fact that they managed to shut down every idea in the strat book of a highly decorated in-game leader. But we shall see. As this round, Jason, I spoke about stacks and gambles. Well, there's a stack on the A site. The T's are going B. This one should be a very easy round for PACT.
Yeah, bomb to be planted, and I would almost expect OG to not even bother to even use these USPs to try to get a kill or two. Just don't give away the money. Don't let them stabilize, because you know you. I mean, well, that maybe doesn't matter anymore. It's not like they can really break the economy, because if they win one round, I believe PACT should still be able to buy, especially with their round success here, or at least get relatively close to it. I wonder if Maniz is going to stick to the scout though, or if he's going to upgrade. I think it's a very tough position to be in, for him to be in, right? Because he has some of the lowest money on the team. The round win's going to help, but again, you have to wonder if you lose the round, will that potentially cause you to be bankrupt? And they're actually going to swing around from CT or from T-spawn. CT's looking for a kill or two, and doesn't seem like it's going to be happening here.
I don't like the ambition. It's not really any problem either way. Like for the T side, this will be a position where they're going to buy into every round they can anyway.
Yep.
But this is a purchase which I'm not sure they might be expecting to come up so soon. A double AWP setup. Issa going to be pulling in the secondary. It seems Maniz has decided it's a good time to get rid of his scout. He's got to be careful making the play down mid. And well, that's the reason. Issa's there with the AWP. A take of long has come in as well. Mantu's there. Well, there's the second AWP. Doesn't quite connect, and he even preemptively plans to delay anything else. Sobor. Flash goes out. Issa screwed. Even gets killed while blind. And we can see Goofy very close to hitting a few shots through the smoke. I do wonder if he might be able to catch him on the cross instead. It's Mantu. Oh, that is a bit of bad luck that could go a long way for OG.
Oh, NBK as well. Sobor gets caught off guard by the mid play. They've been Lunatic and Dark are the last two alive against 4. Yeah, he talked about PACT having to play perfectly. I mean, Sobor does have money, so does Goofy. I mean, he's going to be the one hurting drastically if they lose this round. And with 50 seconds left to go, they're still going to make their push for it. And why wouldn't you? They got one player to contend with over towards short. That's going to be Valda. And then you have to worry about Mantu on the site with an AWP if they head in this direction. They got mollies. They got flashes. Unfortunately, I think Lunatic was just barely spotted, but it doesn't matter. He gets the headshot on Valda. And now LexiB might even rotate behind them on short. Mantu going to be flashed out completely. He might be overwhelmed on the site. 20 seconds to go. And he gets the shot on a Darko before he falls to the grenade. Leaves it now in a 1-on-2. And LexiB with the quick rotate for mid will close it out. OG get themselves to map and match point. 15-5.
Yeah, they're actually going to switch over a Deagle for an AWP as well. They're expecting the miracle to come from Maniz, and I'll be honest, he hasn't even been one of the best players the whole series. Like, I've seen far better performances from many other players within the team. I think it might have been better to go for 2 AKs here, but hopefully to keep this going at least a little bit longer, he'll prove us wrong. Mantu, though, is going to start things off again. His AWP has been fantastic in this map. One of the players to watch for sure. 19 and 8 at the top of the board. Lunatic could catch him here. Flashbang over. Oh. Quick flick from Mantu, though. As said, when he's up close, when he gets those fast shots, they just seem to be ones that he doesn't miss. If anything, it's the simpler ones that sometimes go a bit of a miss. 3v5. Incendiary. Ooh, okay. Smoke was fading. That at least gives them long. It's what they choose to do with it, and Sobor's been tagged down in the meantime. Maniz, there is that AWP on the other side, and now they have 2 of them. This MP9 definitely isn't going to be the weapon of choice, and LexiB has to be careful. If Darko hits the shot, but he takes a shot instead. And that's now an AWP for LexiB. The bomb down on long. MBK is going to get killed by Issa. This is definitely not the cleanest round we've ever seen from OG, but it might just be enough. LexiB will close it. A 16-5 scoreline, a complete turnaround from the first map to OG, and more importantly, Jason, they have done it. They've made it through to the New York EU side of things, the tournament coming up, as you said, in October. And, well, basically, unfortunately, that means PACT are gone.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we did see some good things out of them, right? I was really pleased to see them do so well on Train. I think on Nuke as well, they definitely showed like the grit of the team, right? The fact that they got absolutely slaughtered the last time they played against OG on it just 2 days ago, and they come back and do that well, almost taking the map themselves. I think they come out of this proud. Obviously, a little bit upset they didn't make it through, but OG do qualify, and that means they're going to be playing with the likes of Big, Complexity, FaZe Clan, Fnatic, G2, Vitality, and Heroic, with everything kicking off on October 6th, if I can read my things correctly, for $140,000. Tom, before we head off, anything else you want to say before we end the show?
Everybody should type !caster in chat, follow us, because I'm a sellout.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to be easy to do when everyone's spamming GG in chat. Obviously, a big shout out as well to It's Randall, who was our observer for the last 3 days. And obviously, a big shout out to ESL for holding this event as well and bringing myself and Tom along. Thank you again, guys, for watching. Make sure you guys stick around, though. I think there's other matches going on from other regions if you want to see who else is going to be qualifying for the respective region to play in the Intel Extreme Masters New York. And hopefully, we'll see you guys soon for the main event kicking off yet again in October 6th. Have a good night, guys.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors. And bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
About AT&T's big 5G news.
AT&T has nationwide 5G?
Yep.
And that's faster?
Faster, yeah.
But is it reliable?
Uh-huh, and secure.
You should consider making a big deal about it.
Bigger?
I said bigger.
Oh, bigger deal, bigger than what I'm doing.
It's not complicated. A 5G network needs a 5G device. Now everyone, including existing customers, can get a free Samsung Galaxy Note 20 after trade-in.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds, and planes are piloted from the other side of the world. The future's not coming, it's already here. Join us and be the future.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams.